Yeah, yeah, to spoon. You from Gemma, spoon. Yeah, yeah, to spoon. If you eat my regular, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, yeah, to spoon. Okay, Tunto Spoon. You're in Maryland, you're in Sino County, you're in Grand Bassa, or maybe you're somewhere there in Bowman County, Nimba. This is where you get the news, the analysis, the views of Liberians on the critical national issues. We bring you up to speed with the everyday happenings in the country. Regardless of where you are, you can always watch or listen to Spoon. That's why we are coming to you live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We are live on Fabric Radio 101.1. And Voice of Liberia 104.1 is also carrying the program live in Monrovia, in Banga, Bon County, in Grand Bassa County, and of course in Lofa County. Thanks to all of our partner radio stations that will most times relay the program even without telling us. We appreciate every single person for being here. Spoon Talk is live online. You can find us on Spoon TV on Facebook, Fabric TV on Facebook, and Super TV on Facebook. We also live on YouTube, and our YouTube handle is Spoon Talk Live. So I want to welcome everyone tonight. It's going to be a great show. As always, Spoon Talk is loaded for you tonight. And I want to say welcome to everyone. Kindly share the show as you join us. Let me welcome some of those who have already started engaging in the comment section. In Africa. Let me welcome Frankie Toll. See Arena Sawal. Thank you for joining us. Kiko Kaba is here tonight as well. See Ban Alice is joining us. Kendrick Copy is here tonight. Barbara Charles is joining us. Thank you for coming on tonight. We ask you to share the show. Just please share the program as you join us tonight. It doesn't matter where you're joining us from. See Morris Paiba is here tonight. Thank you for coming on. So just keep sharing the program. Spoon Talk is gonna be great. You know, we have a great show coming your way tonight. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Let me welcome Yvonne Eo tonight. Thank you for joining us. Jared 5731. I think that's your YouTube. But thanks to everyone for joining us. I'm Nelson Collier, and yes, we're here tonight. And I'll be producing alongside Darius Dole. Darius is here as well. I'll bring him on shortly. See Eo, that's Yvonne is asking. Lorena is feeling better. She's doing well, and she's recovering. Thanks for asking. And let me bring Darius on. Darius Dole, welcome. It's good to have you on as well.
Thank you, Nelson. And let me say good evening to all of our followers, those following Spoon Network. Spoon Talk is here to analyze the issues, to bring you the happenings across the country. So we are here. It's good to be teaming up with you tonight.
Definitely. I understand. You had a great show the other day. You know.
Yeah. So
everything is part of the process,
so interesting. You know? So interesting.
You know,
we have adjusted finally.
Yeah, you've adjusted. The guy has adjusted. You know, and I remember one edition of Spoon Talk when I started the show. I did the entire intro of the show before realizing that I didn't click on the live button. I was just on radio. So these things too happen. So, yeah, these are things that happen. And then I had to start all over. You know. So it's obvious once you're dealing with these softwares and the different setups in studio. But
Yeah,
I'm glad
but
that you
from my
persisted.
experience, it appeared that I just wanted to bring the CEO on, not knowing that there's a
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah,
technical
the
issue.
CEO said you didn't want to
Yeah,
come
man,
on.
the man
Yeah.
without contempt.
Yeah, I think your contempt charges are awaiting you. But I want to appreciate everyone for joining us. Darius, it's good that we're here. The CEO will be coming on. And while we're doing this, we're going to take calls. I want to appreciate all of the folks joining us tonight. We'll take calls as we always do. The first segment of the program to get to hear from Liberians, to know what their thoughts are, their views, their concerns, and on the What's on Your Mind segment. But just before I do that, let me say a very big thank you to the Spoon Network, our one big family here, the Spoon Network.
Congratulations, bro.
For the congratulatory messages that flooded yesterday, and over 2,000 persons, about 2,500 people took up their time to write to say congratulations to me, as I had a graduation yesterday. So I want to say thanks to our CEO, and thanks to Madam Titi, thanks to the entire staff, the entire team here, and to our viewers, our listeners, and all of our people across the world who are part of the Spoon family as well. I want to say thanks to everyone for making my day a special one yesterday. So while we do that, I think we can go to the phone lines.
Yeah,
take some calls, Darius. And let's
take few of the calls.
Yeah, Darius is the actual producer for tonight.
No.
I'm just sitting I'm just sharing the stage with Darius tonight. Darius is the actual producer tonight. But we're gonna go to the phone lines, take calls. 0555-101075 is the number to call, and you'll be live on the program while we are with the CEO and the rest of the team for the rest of the show. But let's take this person. Hello, you're live. Let's hear you.
Even to you.
Good evening, sir. It's good to have you on.
Darius, let me say good evening to you also.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Blessing, this is your friend and brother, Mohammed M. Kane.
Mohammed, it's good to have you on. What's on your mind, sir?
It's a pleasure, Blessing. Blessing, like I've been saying on the platform, my talking point is how to be a highlight on the office of the disaster management head, about Asu Dole. We are asking Asu Dole what for this year visiting, what it is indeed that we are not been hearing, and then respond from the office if it comes to the issue of our parties. Every year visiting, nothing correct. You are well of it. Okay, I even flagged the issue last year visiting. Okay, you are my witness even on the phone talk.
Okay.
I did flag the issue and they will even get resolved last year. But this year, we don't know. And I think you should know that President Baga quit to fire person for their position.
Thank you.
Okay? So if you didn't know, definitely you're going to be the next person that will be dressed to the GSA and error.
Thank you for your input tonight. We appreciate you, sir. Let's take another person. Hello, your name and where you joining us from. Let's hear you.
How are you? My name is Mama Kali from Pena.
Let's hear you. What's on your mind?
Yeah, thank you. What is my mind this evening is about the elephant in Grand Cape County.
Okay.
Just yesterday and day before yesterday. Now the FDA is saying they are protecting the wildlife, and the wildlife is not killing citizens. And so I want to know from the FDA, where is their stand? They have lost 2 citizens of Baguitan. They went there, talked to people, and gave some promises to the people. But what becoming of the other citizens that are living around? They don't go back and arrest people. What all the other nearby town will be affected, and the tower is pouring. The people play. The people don't play me again. They even telling the people not to go in the bush. So what will become of the citizens? Will somebody live or have their rest with the children, with the family?
Thank you.
I really want to know what will be the next step of the FDA. They have to do something about it. I have to do something very quickly.
Thanks a lot for your input tonight. You can keep your calls coming to 0555-101075. You'll be live. The What's on Your Mind segment of the program tonight. Hello, your name and where you joining us from? Let's hear you.
Good evening. Congratulations to you.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
My name is Zegu Fofana. I always come from the community.
What's on your mind?
My issue I joined to yesterday's show because I was unfortunate to call yesterday. But I want to so that I'm on Madingo Bay. And I'm a Muslim by religion, right? But the issue that happened in real life, I was very unfortunate for Kevin on the radio to say that Joseph Boakai against the Muslim people. Some people call and say Joseph Boakai will end the Islamic religion in the country. No one have that power. But let me say that they between Madingo, right? And nobody should arrest or invasion. You know how many people have been beaten? So I'm on Madingo, but not to say I can't take because our religion to say they beat. No, the pay is not for you. They say they will go to court. They say the memo take a place. So why must you people come and say like people like Kev that if you have more to store what is supposed to talk can't say that you say Joseph. Okay, we know Madingo man. Why maybe Madingo man? Then you come into Joseph Boakai. That your propaganda they can't work.
Thank you.
They can't work.
Thank you. Thank
you for avoiding the time.
0555-101075. Hello, your name and where you joining us?
Nothing for how are you?
Yes, sir. I'm okay.
Adam, nothing for God. Let bless you. Nothing for I'm happy about some honor to tell you. Man, let God make it in any. Let God multiply 70 times. Nothing will be protected. Why you let nothing will enjoy it for it? Nothing. Let God bless you. Let God guide you. Anybody like to that place, let God guide you. Nothing.
Thank you.
Adam, Joseph Boakai is my name. Nothing. What my brother just called Jenna and say. If he have listen to anything that after they made president, Joseph, we have to fail. Have son. That you made president, we have to fail. President, we have to succeed, but because of the propaganda, they lie. They omen and get one bad act for Madingo people. Why can as an vote? Nothing see. When CEO can, they will vote. Who all want to Azan to be on that? Who all not want to Azan to be there? Thank you very much.
So that the campaign won't start now.
Propaganda, free propaganda. Joseph Boakai hate Madingo. Why you want people can't say Joseph Boakai hate Madingo? You can forget quickly. When CEO can, they will vote. Who all want to Azan to be there? Who all want to Azan to go?
So when the CEO comes on, he will decide whether he wants to,
no vote, man.
Thank you. Hello, your name and where you call from? Let's hear you.
Yeah, my dear brother, man, there is something the usher coming from the old road.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'll come be first off, congratulations. Don't be there. Mr. Waterspoon. Because throw stone, when the stone start raining, nothing to the and the back laugh. Don't be like him. But I got mob not for fun.
Thank you.
The case Hassan, man, here, please. This is not happening like court issue. It's not Muslim, it's not Christian issue. It's not make it like it's a Christian or tradition, no something. So people start going after hunting people, hunting one another in the place there. It's not covered. It's not. I agree that a statement they made on the program, you can be heavy problem, but it's wrong. You start to see then. What is the former CEO said the last time about the former immigration commissioner. The reason why the book that got I said on the platform when this made the former finance minister was statement, and then he with the king to RIA, the guy drove and came all the time. The following day I on the platform, I said they were rich for us. That meant I been arrested to the airport because
Thank you
already.
Thank you.
But what was the reason for which the immigration commission allowed me to drive and come to town? No, it should have been so. You should have been arrested and brought to the airport, brought in jail, come and put in jail. You be in jail for the next day, they take you order to court.
Thanks a lot for your input.
But that's danger the whole country.
We appreciate you. Thank you. 0555-101075. Hello, your name and where you joining us from?
Good evening to family and good evening to my people, the Republic of Liberia, and good evening to you, dear brother Nelson Collect Institute in Liberia. The name remain constant and council AF Kamara back to our network. I have been deniable several times. I always call my phone ring. We reject it. But let me make my point. it will be issue that we have to take it to the bank, my brother, next thing. But let me firstly make my point. I want to tell the United Partisans, the money around will 9%, and the box issue, how President Yuma brought 35 new buses, brand new, and now we have brought 55 buses old second-hand. We are not speaking about that. Let us discuss the brand issue of the Liberian people. Liberian people are suffering. They are going through starvation and suffering. President Buck is flying around and flying from here and there without bringing anything and spending our tax money. In Manere, Makumbacha is not in school. Today, take your statistics, go around your community and eat virus in Bolivia. School going children are out of schools. And President Boakai made a promise to the Liberian people that when he becomes president of this country, Liberian children who should be in school, they will not stay so on the street or in the street. Today we are seeing it. And President Boakai, it was dancing around for the United Party said, oh, President Boakai has traveled to France, Paris to meet with Emmanuel Macron. Yes, President Boakai is now committed chairman or leader of Billy Chipton.
Okay.
But President Boakai is the president of the Republic of Labrador. And he went there. What is the dividends he brought to the country after spending both our taxpayer money? But let me say this clearly as a clear message to you. Joseph Boakai and his entire lieutenants are telling Maxime and it will be pension politically.
Thank you for your input. Thank you for your input tonight. Thank you for your input tonight. We appreciate you. Let's hold it there. Take this person. Hello. Your name and where you joining us from?
Yeah, good evening, sir. Emmanuel Samuel is my name from Tishkiti. You are in our government has become a form as to the Liberian people, and our government has turned as comedian to the outside people, because the government is celebrating policies that other countries are celebrating investment, and the government is filling us with the Liberian people. So for me, I want the government to fail because the government has failed me or she with the Liberian people. We are already still the government to fail. And I wanted to fail, but I wanted to collapse, and the Liberian people will.
Wait. Are you saying that you want your government, the government of Liberia, to collapse?
I want to unify the government because when they're in opposition, they never see anything good or job we are government. So I want to government to
let me ask you a question. Do you love your country, as in Liberia? Do you love Liberia as a country?
I love the country just how the United States love Liberia.
But then why do you want the government that is running the country to fail?
I wanted to stop because when we are facing with we are 12 for the 5 year project.
So do you want the government to fail? Do you want the government to fail because of former President George Weah?
I wanted to because I wanted to fail. I wanted to fail President because anything for citizens go. Every time I wanted to fail because
last question. So we take the next person. Last question. So we take the next person. Former President George Weah. Oh no, we lost that person. I wanted to ask former President George Weah in Liberia, who do you love the most?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Nancy, how are you?
Yeah. It's good to have you. Please go ahead quickly.
My man, that your own brother boy forgot about me. There is Nicholas Kamara from Chicken Factory.
Nicholas, it's good to have you. It's good to have you on, sir. What's on your mind, Chief?
Yeah, my case here is we tell the government thank you, because even though the other people are thinking that yes, when the government say we are Labrador, I don't know what they think, but we pray is that the government must succeed. Today, tomorrow, we're serving the people water, we'll do everything. We be up for the government here, we receive beating, we will do everything. Today, up to now, some of our children, but we all that. We're not praying for bad to come in the country. We pray that, as you can see, the content, people want to know, they say the bosses, then the bosses already bring this, that. But forget to know that they bosses. When NTA, the government to NTA, there were no bosses, the 5 bosses out there, all of them were Now we have all of that old NTA bosses. We got 16 bosses that are running. Plus the 2 or the boy 18. Plus the 35 that came. Out to this one, we know that the government will succeed. But one thing I will tell you, our government, we got to think. Me, as I'm telling you, my brother, I went. They say they want to carpenter to NTA. I went. Why they came and see coming for interview. I want to do my interview. Also, President Nana, the only carpenter that in the NTA, the NTA carpenter, he complaining. They contacted me when there. He told me, telling me around to talk to the people that I'm on work with him. But the people up to now.
Nicholas, thank you for your input. I understand your point. Hopefully, those in authority are listening and they can address that.
They don't have to dance out. They got to look up to us because we suffer. We suffer for the government. And we take action.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's hold you there. Thank you. 055510105. Hello, your name and where you joining us from? Let's hear you.
Yeah.
Hello. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, I'm Burma family calling from Cornwall.
Burma, what's on your mind?
Yeah. Thank you for the show. And thanks to the Spoon family. Yeah, I just want to appreciate the president, Joseph Yuma Boakai, for his mature and experienced job that he's doing for us. The reason why this country is hard because people are used to be the money. They are no more a job, but they just zero. Just have people that transport the money around, make things come. But that's not the way to empower people. And that's how the past government empower people.
Do you have
things are hard. Things are
do you have
so
evidence
we love
to
that. It's better for our brother and sister to be in mind than for money to be flowing here while our brother getting crazy.
Thank you.
So we bless God. So
but you don't have evidence to that aspect, brother. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Hello.
Yeah.
My name is Timothy Kase.
Timothy, what's on your mind?
Timothy Kase from the Soken Luster Tower.
Yeah, what's on your mind? Let's hear you.
Chief, something really getting to me in the library and I plan to test it tonight.
Yeah, what's the issue?
They serving too much in the country, and not everybody happy in the country. Some of we are downhearted, some of we are sick, no hospital to go. But the serving when they bring hard. And I don't know, one political today really, I don't know whether it has begun day by the escort or whether the book can hire that car, and then day by the car will be a lot, but the politics will be influenced. So with that, let it, I don't know who is responsible about regulating the particular ferry business. Everybody, the private car, motorbike, everybody just gets ferry.
Thank you.
They're stepping on too much.
Thank you for your input tonight. Thanks a lot for your input. 055510105. Hello, your name and where you joining us from? Let's hear you. Hello.
David?
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Not that loud and clear.
Not that loud? I think you have to adjust because I have a setup here from studio.
I hear by the radio. Anyway, I'm Brother G. Lahasi, where they calling from Pingley, AB tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
I hope the people are listening. Look, my brother, this program is internationally being heard and nationally being heard. So at least there should be credible information. Look at what Kev said in last this compass. I mean, line that where the police went to enforce, they could all against Muslim and people. I mean, I beg, let him make sure that people, your panelists come with evidence, and you know, everything they say. And also, okay, I let him say, I mean, Kev have made this so much, I think Kev should be out of the show. Kev is so sent out so much, he does not want to say the fact at all. So, I beg you. I know Kev is a friend to the CEO, but let me make sure that this show is credible. Because credible listen to it and they want to get it. It's international information. Everything be said on the program is being heard internationally. So I'm thanking you.
Thank you for your input tonight. Let's hold you there. This person. All right.
And I call all our fellow Liberians. We have only one Liberia.
All right.
We have only one government.
Thank you. Hello. Your name and where you joining us from?
Hello.
Please walk away from your radio, sir. Hello.
Desi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's good to have you on. Let's hear you.
Hello?
What's on your mind? Okay, sorry. Your background is loud. Just change your location. Hello? Hello, you're live. Let's hear you.
David King.
Oh, David King, it's good to have you on. What's on your mind?
What on my mind has to do with this issue of the yellow machine.
Okay.
No, there have been stories of the yellow machine. The thing that will be true for me.
David King, your line is terrible. I think you have to.
But you're not getting me. I'm walking around. Am I okay now?
Okay, it's better now. Go ahead.
Okay. I said, as a leader, you have to be truthful in your words to your people, because the yellow machine has a lot of conversations surrounding it as it relates to the president talking about yellow machine coming to the country. Last night, the president said the yellow machine was given to him, his friend, a long friend who has expressed the agenda as an interest too. He gave it to him based upon gentleman agreement. Another time we heard that Jeremiah Kuhn was being sent to go and do window shopping, like he's the procurement director now for the TVC. Today we are also hearing from Mr. President that the yellow machine, the money of our yellow machine is coming from the Echo Bank. And I believe before the government can even secure a loan, it has to go through the legislature. We have not heard anything like the national legislature agreeing with the president to take a loan from the Echo Bank or whatsoever institution. Now that the president they are getting money from Echo Bank to put machine into the country. So the president continued to violate the constitution of the country when he said the rule of law one of his pillow. So I believe this president don't believe in the rule of law, and this is why things are proceeding the way it is proceeding. And we also want to call on our lawmakers, those opposition lawmakers, they shouldn't sit there and be sleeping with their head, because one man like Dara Belon and Yombi Kanga, they were here putting our government feet to the fire. So we want similar action to come from the opposition law.
Thank you, David King. We have to hold you there. Thank you for your input tonight. 0555-101075. Hello, your name and where you joining us from? Let's hear you.
I'm Pastor to command. I joined the conversation on the ambit of the United States Intellectual Bureau.
Thank you, Pastor.
President, I congratulate the president for helping to stem out this genocidal thing called corruption out of Liberia. Today we saw him relieving some officials who hands were caught in the country jail, relieving them finally of their post. So that's people like somebody who needs business, somebody who is very institutional, to enjoy their God-given resources. Those who have been strangulating the people, using corruptible means to strangulate the people, have been, most of them have by him. The second issue on my mind have to do with the issue of the boss. First, let me congratulate him once again for bringing in bosses for dedicating the 35 bosses.
Thank you. Thank you for your input tonight. We appreciate you for your contribution to the show. I see the CEO has joined us. CEO, good evening to you. Welcome.
Wait. Are you teaching Darius?
Where?
No.
No. Wait. What's going on? We got two producers now. So we cannot trust Darius, right? So all the people Darius been making.
I set up my show. I started my show. Nelson came in and he needed to test his voice since his graduation.
Wow. So Darius, you can't. Darius, no way you can do this thing alone.
But Nelson, I started the show. Ask him.
No, but Darius, say the truth, Darius. You can't do it alone. We understand. Listen,
no, I can do Darius, more than that.
Everybody needs training.
No, right? I've been
for 20 years. Darius, they will say in service. Ask Russell. People go through in services all the time. Russell, you have done so many in services, right?
So
Russell never got problem.
Russell, you gotta unmute. We're not hearing you, Russell. You have done so many in services. There is no way you can tell us, Darius, that this is.
He got emails from you.
So see you. I know from the last show, you know, there was something coming up for Darius, but actually I got a call from the CEO Madam TD, and she asked me to come in. I didn't know that Darius.
Because nobody trusts Darius.
No, she didn't. I think my schedule was not communicated. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, schedule not communicated well.
But Darius, CEO,
we got you. We got you. We told you we're going to set you up.
No problem.
Nelson. We set you up.
I agree. I will either show or you do one day.
We set you up. We got you. Now we know that you can't do this thing alone. So every day we bring someone to help you. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius for our inside today. But Darius, though.
Yeah,
Russell, can you hear us now? Are you good?
Yes. I can hear you loud and clear.
Russell, I promise you, I'm not going to turn any domestic issue here. So,
okay.
So don't mute yourself, please.
How my lighting looks? I'm just trying to figure out. It looks. Is it?
No, you look good. It's not too bright, though. It's not too bright, but you
just look more Indian. No.
I look more Indian.
Yeah.
Well, so welcome to the Spoon Talk. Every one of you, thank you for joining us. A lot of stuff is happening. Joey, I go. Joey, I go. Joey, I go. We tire. Oh, Joey, I go. Can somebody get me that video? Nelson, I need that video.
Did that?
When Charles Brown was saying Joey, I go today, Joseph Boyka said, Charles Brown, go. I don't know. We're talking about it. But he would, guys, are you following? Today, President Boyka dismissed Charles Brown. He was dismissed today. Charles Brown was dismissed today. Our friend Bob Cooper gone to NBC, NBS, state-owned enterprise, BSE, whatever it is. And what is happening? The reason why President Boyka, this one is not suspension. Is this the first dismissal, not suspension, right? I mean, off the back, dismissal, off the back. I think it's the third one. They dismiss it. And Charles Brown, you know, I have a relationship with Charles Brown. I know him very well. But what did he do? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. The white girl finally got her blessing from the executive mansion. She's on her way to Togo. But this is huge because somebody gave me that video. I want to start with that video when Charles Brown, Russell, you remember though? You remember Charles Brown?
It's in your inbox.
A lot, yeah.
But you put it up, Nelson. Put it up now.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it.
No, that's you remember? You remember Russell, Charlie Brown?
I remember very well.
I want to ask the people though. It's something. He was powerful during the election, and I saw the cap. Yeah, okay, let me leave you alone because you from Grand Judah. But our son is like Charles Brown make that son to go international. And that song went, a lot of people, Russell, a lot of people felt that song. Joey, I go. Joey, I go. Joey, I go. We tire, oh, Joey, I go. Joey, I go. Bam, 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 bam. Joey, I go. Joey, I go. We tire, oh, Joey, I... What happened? Nelson, you got it ready? I mean, you're two now. You're two the team. Fast now.
3, 1. Okay, so the video is almost ready. It's loading now.
Okay, so but if you know anything, right? This whole Joe Yago thing, right? Charles Brown from the Ministry of Labor, why he was fired today, we got a lot of information coming to you. What Mr. Russell will take over this show because you understand Mr. Russell is the man to do this. He will be the one running the show. Emmanuel is coming on. Kanyo Bagbala is in the back. And this thing about this one, immediately he got fired. Joseph Boakai already has somebody by the name of Pandey. I think I don't know that person from Nimba. Then we begin to ask questions. It's the Ministry of Labor, the Nimba ministry now. The person that replacing Charles Brown. Is that person from Nimba? Can somebody tell me? Let's get the picture. I beg you guys, let's get the picture. Then we want to ask whether the Ministry of Labor is that Nimba ministry. It's for the MDR, maybe. Maybe it's for the MDR. That's what's happening. But guys, is it up, Nelson? Hey,
yeah, it's up. It's up. It's up. The video is up.
This is what we do.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Listen, I mean, it was the heat of the election, Russell. If you're just joining us, welcome to the show. We're going to talk about, can we get his picture? Can we get everything on him? Can we get him when he was lying under the car? And because they failed to pay them, can Darius do something? But Russell, he's so good when he's campaigning for you. He's a fighter. But come to know this today, and we saw the video that, you know, he was beating on this guy. We're going to play the video. I'm waiting for the guys. And guys, do we have that video? When he was beating on the Chinese guy, do we have that video?
Almost few seconds.
Okay, so Russell, let me hear you. One of the, what say you, Russell? And we're going to put his picture up. When all these guys, they're ready, let me see. That's not him. Oh my God. Go ahead, Russell, talk to me.
Well, I mean, I know he was one of those vocal proponents and one of those who were vocally promoting and supporting the president and getting a lot of people to come around to support now President Boakai. I mean, so he was a major force within the campaign and selling the president messages, recruiting people, galvanizing a lot of groups around the country, youth groups and all of that. That song he made a huge difference. I mean, it was powerful, and it resonated with what people had been saying already, that it was time for George Weah to leave because he had been, a dismal failure to the country. So there are a lot of people who are calling, and on President Weah to leave, and then comes this song, Joe Weah go, and so it just all sort of Jeff dovetailed so well with the overarching message that, hey, we need a change, we need new leadership. The CDC and President Weah is not doing right by the country, so they need to leave. And so that song was very timely, was very powerful, and it was pointed in the direction that a lot of the people at the time, a lot of the people in the country, especially unity partisans, what they were saying. So that was just a perfect timing and the confluence of all of these things coming together to push the president's message. So to see him
Go ahead, we listen to you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were bringing on the clip, so I just sort of paused that. But anyways, so to see him.
Nelson, now who plays something now? We're coordinating well, Nelson. Who plays something in the back?
No, but we're on course. We're on course now.
Yeah, go ahead, Russell.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that this was a very powerful, galvanizing voice, bringing folks together, promoting the message of President Boakai and the Unity Party, and to see what 2 years has been and how things have turned around. It's surprising, and it's surprising to see the turn of events now, Stanton. So I'm curious. I'm sure a lot of people are curious too, who are listening or watching us. They're curious as to what happened. So we need to know what happened. What caused things to turn around as quickly as they have seem to have turned around now?
Yeah, but my thing is that at the end of the day, guys, welcome to the show. Let's have fun this beautiful Saturday afternoon at my end. I want you to watch this, and we're going to talk about Charles Brown. Charlie always come here. Charlie Carr got on fire. He was very instrumental, like you said, during the election. He fought the system. They couldn't get paid. The staffer couldn't get paid. He was relentless. He said, I'm not going to listen. Joey, I got to go. He gathered the troop. He fought. President Boakai came to power. And this was one of his signature inspiring song to the nation when he said, Joel must go. Let's play it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Joel.
If you listen to the song, Russell, right? Harmonization. Joey go. Joey go. Joey go. We tire. Joey corruption. Joey go. Bad healthcare system. Joey go. Bad roads. Joey go. We tire. Zoberization. Joey go. He listed them. He listed them. This guy, he brought about something, and if you say President Boakai winning, it's not only Spoon, it's not only Costa, it's not only other, it's the fact that President Boakai won because of somebody like Charlie Brown. Because of someone like Charles Brown. But today, President Boakai said, Charles Brown, I don't need you. I don't want you. This government is not for you based on X, Y, and Z. And we want to say to all of you, we have a beautiful show today. Man, Darius, people are confused. You are muted, Darius. People are confused. We have to understand that President Boakai has no boundary. Now, who's going to unmute? Darius, go ahead. You're saying something. Let's see if we can hear you.
Yes, I think I'm good. I said it is concerning.
It's even more concerning. But what did Charles Brown do that led to his immediate dismissal? What did he do? No consideration. You out. You gone. I mean, I know what's happening. I'm gonna discuss it further. If you know what happened, let us know. What you think? But Brother Russell, what do you think? What do you think? One of the giants, though, one of the fighter, Charles Brown.
Yeah, something must have gone wrong. It'll be interesting to see what went wrong. How did things get so sour so quickly? And that will be something that a lot of people would like to know and understand what may have happened. But so once we can get the backstory, but Stanton, in government, people come, people go. I mean, even some of your most loyal followers, they may do something that may disappoint you, or they may go awry in some sort of different direction than what your values are, what your policies are, and the policy direction of your government. So we need to know more. We need to learn more and find out, because this guy was a staunch ally of the president and Unity Party. He came out creatively and put that song together that sort of coincided so well with the overarching message of the country at the time and what Unity Party was pushing. George Weah needed to leave. So there must have been something catastrophic, and so we need to know. I don't know if Darius, if you have any Nelson, you guys are on the ground.
We will come there. We saw something when Charles Brown was beating on some minors, investors, they call themselves. I mean, is this some of the reason why he was let go? But the other side of this story, though, the whole Ministry of Labor, I want to, when you talk about ministers and deputy ministers and assistant minister, do we have any non-Nimbadians in a higher position at the Ministry of Labor? Do we have any minister, assistant deputy, any minister that is not from Nimba at that ministry? Is it a problem now? Is it a problem?
Well, I saw a list that came out. I don't know how accurate that list is. I mean, there are other lists. There are a lot of lists around purporting to indicate that you have one group of people who are getting a lot of these positions. Because if you look at some of the lists that have been put out there, there seem to be a disproportionate number of people from Norfolk County who are on these lists, indicating that they have a number of jobs or so and have a lot of big fat jobs in the government. So we need to do an audit of all these different lists and positions. So I don't know, Stanton. I guess maybe Dr. George or maybe Nelson or Darius know the veracity of those lists, or at least the list that comes out of the Ministry of Labor.
Let's welcome the Honorable Doctor himself from the ANC. They call him Dr. Emmanuel G.K. George. I've never heard anyone last name George, but it's good to know that we have one on the show who last name is George. I mean, why you carrying George's name though? Let's try to talk about you. You always want to interview me. You've been asking me so many times. Why are you carrying the George name? Where did George name came from today? I mean, your father named George.
Yeah, my family name is George, and George is a Breton name. In Breton, George means the farmer. So
okay.
In
Breton?
Yeah, George in Breton means the farmer. So it's a Breton name.
But people ask, why is Breton? What do you mean in Breton? Where is Breton?
Is that a village?
Breton is a language. It's it's like you say a Bela name, a Mandingo name, a Guillaume.
So where is that language coming from? Which country?
The Britons would normally be seen as the British today. So in their language, George means the farmer.
So but that's a common name though. I mean, there's a lot of Georges in Liberia.
No, yeah. But you want to do the interview, or you want me to do the interview?
So George is a family name.
No problem. We respect George to be the family name, no problem. We respect, the family name George. But we want to say to you, welcome to the show, Mr. Britton George. Can I say that, Britton George?
Well, if you want to say that, that's fine. But okay. We're trying to get the origin of the name. You asked me where the name George came from. That's why I'm trying to help you with the origin. I have two names. The first name is Hebrew name, and the last name is a Breton name.
So Emmanuel is Hebrew?
Yeah, Emmanuel is Hebrew.
Yeah, God is with us, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because of the day I was born.
Okay. All right. So you are Emmanuel George
from UK.
From the UK.
Okay.
No problem. No problem. We know that you're from the UK. We respect that. Is that the reason why? No, I'm not going there though. But I'm sorry, woman. Is that the reason why Mr. Cummings brought in Tony Blair well to represent him and do that case?
We get out of this thing.
That's why we need to interview you. I think Kev have agreed with me. I know Kadio will agree with me. We need to set you.
Y'all set it up. No, seriously. Y'all set it up. I'm open. Okay. Y'all please do. Y'all set it up. I will be willing to sit here and you guys can interview me. I don't shy away from the camera. If I can't answer, I tell you I can't answer now. I plead the fifth because of my lawyer. If I can answer, I will answer you. And I hope you can set it up though. Seriously, it will be a very, very interesting one for y'all to ask me question and I will be open to answer. And I think let's set the date. I know Kayo want me to ask me question. He been hitting me so hard. He really, really want to ask me, Kayo. I can answer any question, Kayo. Only two things that people will take away. They like it or they didn't like it. But at least I will say my piece. So I can answer any question. And that's who I am. But let's get back to Charles Brown, Kayo. Today, President Biden let go of Charles Brown. Charles Brown looked in the camera. And he said, Thomas Fala, Tiffy, Roro. He looked in the camera. And he said the country was on the bad direction. When Kanyo Bagbada was fighting for John Mahama, we had to stay in power. It took Charles Brown to tell the people, don't listen to Kanyo Bagbada. Joey, I must go. This Kanyo you saw on the show, or you are seeing on the show today, he did everything in 14 out of 15 counties. Beg the Liberian people. So please consider that to George Manawia. And while he was doing that, ladies and gentlemen, Charles Brown was singing this song.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And there you have it. And there you have it. But today, I'm going to play one more. I want to remind you that when it comes to President Joseph Imam Bouaka, have you heard about it? It said, medicine sans frontières. Medicine got no boundary. You heard that, right? You remember medicine sans frontières? They put I can speak French. That's why it said medicine got no boundary. Joseph Bouaka sans frontières. Joseph Bouaka got no boundary, maybe. You got to understand. But this is Charles Brown. This is Charles Brown.
I said,
so why you put Jeremiah Kune in it and you send it to me? I gotta listen to something before I play. Why you put I'm not even gonna play that other video. Why I gotta get Jeremiah Cooney in there and send it to me? And your feet, I didn't listen to it. But guys, now you see what's happening. We're receiving information. It was because of this reason that Charles Brown got fired.
I said, roll.
Where's the video? And the Chinese man, Darius, did you put it up?
Yeah, Nelson got it.
Nelson, is it up?
Yeah.
Now, can you guys put the video there up, please? So let me hear you, Emmanuel George. Here we are, and it is what it is. The president let go of him.
Yes, let me start by saying good evening to our listener out there. Thank you for joining us, and good evening to Biddy D, Kev, Councilor Bala, and to you, Stanton, Nelson, and Darius in the studio. Look, one of the things about leadership is that those who are closest to you, and those who support you, when you start to bring down the government to really show discipline, you have to start with them if they are indisciplined. It helps others to understand that you are serious about what you want to do. And despite the music he sang or what he's doing is great, it's beautiful. But what I learned, and I started following the story just before coming on the show, what I learned is that while on his duty, he was harassing people, and he was a bit corrupt too, with all the corruption he was speaking at other people about. And I think it's a harassment piece of it that led the president to drop the gavel down on him today. But for me, these are bad players. And, you know, these are little people down there. The main people up there that we hear about every day, we don't see the gavel coming down hard on them as we see it coming on Mr. Brown. I'm not saying that what he did is right, is wrong. And the fact that he was able to mobilize people at the national legislature, and many people know the song that he which became a bit popular during the 2023 elections, doesn't shield him from the gavel of the president. So it's a good move, but again, like all the time these things happen, we ask the president to go to the top. Yellow machines, 79 million it started with, it came down to 21 million, going back to 30-something $million. Those are things that the president need to be strong against, because it's something that publicly disgraced the president. I mean, he was at that cabinet retreat. He was made to stand up, to clap for something that we didn't have. And at the end of the day, it's all in the newspaper that the story was not correct. The prices were inflated. So up to now, that gavel has not fallen down. The president have to think about it. But it's great to see. I mean, it's what with the story. I don't have all the background story, but what I have read so far, I think Charles Brown erred, and he have to pay for what he did, and that's what. But I'm wondering, maybe when Conway or other comes out, he's an inspector, a labor inspector. Why is the labor inspector a presidential appointment? That relief should it have come from the director of human resources at the Ministry of Labor? That's where my brain is confused about right now. Maybe someone will help me to unpack my confusion.
Yeah, let's take it step by step. Let's take this thing small. I want to bring in Russell again, because now we officially, get this thing going. Russell, the issue about Charlie Brown now, he's gone, he's out. A lot of questions coming, not only on Charlie Brown, Cooper Cry, and the rest of them, but the president's decision to relieve him of his post. All right, it was because of some of these reasons. Let's go. So if you miss it, we're going to play it one more time. Just pay attention. You think I'm here for stupidness, and you put the man in the car, and that's Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown was saying, John, we are go because of corruption. John, we are go because of auditor death. John, we are go because of bad roads, bad healthcare system, bad education. John, we are go because of everything, right? This is the same Charles Brown said that we're not getting paid. He went under the car. Darius, can you give me that video? He said, yo, travel over us. no problem here and there. We are not getting paid. We are the staff. But this is the same Charlie Brown saying, Jeremiah Cohn, Thomas Father, they are Tiffy Rogo. But this is the same Charlie Brown that the president let him go off today. Let's play.
No.
Well, what say you, Mr. Garza? What say you?
You know, I mean, we should first discourage and speak loudly against impunity in our country. We have to speak loudly as well. Officials of government taking the laws into their own hands. I mean, that behavior that I just watched on the video, that's not appropriate for a senior government official to be doing, and especially if he's alleged to have been involved in some corrupt practices and he's out there publicly doing what he's doing, as opposed to allowing law enforcement, the law enforcement agency to, if there's an indictment or whatever it was, you know, for them to be able to come forward and do their work as opposed to doing what he's doing. I mean, it's unacceptable. We have to stop this sort of unruly, you know, behavior, taking the law into our own hand, doing everything. I mean, we're pulling the man and yanking him here and there. So, you know, I mean, I can see why he was let go, Stanton, even if he played a pivotal role in getting this government to power. That behavior is unacceptable. It's unprofessional. It's unacceptable. So, you know, it doesn't look good. It doesn't. Look good. If there are other issues around it, then
I want to balance something, right? Okay. As you speak on this issue, what about Eugene Fagon going to the port and slapping somebody in the ear?
That's wrong, Stanton.
And he was never let go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I mean,
if you want to balance this out, though, right? Eugene Fagon went to the port and slapped the security personnel in his ear, and Eugene walked freely. But here comes Charlie Brown, right? Putting out the Chinese man, reason being, we don't know the entire story, and was based on this video that they're going to let Charlie Brown go.
But do we have a video of Eugene Fagon? Do we have a video?
The thing was all over. It was all. It was all over.
No.
Yeah, it was all over because the issue is that that's the defense mechanism to say, do we have a video? Yes, indeed, it was on the news, and you know it was all over. But our question remained the same. If President Bouaga have to do this across the board, do that wish for good for Peter, for Paul.
No, right? I agree. But I agree, Stanton. I agree. I was going to ask you a question because there should be zero tolerance across the board. There shouldn't be any sort of selective reprimand. Okay, there shouldn't be selective reprimand. So I was just curious. So whether
the environment Charles Brown found himself in is the Nimba, and I'm not saying it right. The Nimba cartel at the labor ministry on the Kupokra. Minister Kupokra Nimba, Deputy Minister Nimba, Assistant Minister Nimba, everybody. So is he just a victim of the location he found himself in? Let me bring in Kev Hassan. And that's how I like to get involved in this story, because people say, "Stand why are you saying that?" Something is happening. Charles Brown got so many complaints on Kupokra. So one off, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Kupokra used the opportunity to keep Charles Brown off. Now, the person that replaced Charles Brown, ask yourself, is that person from Nimba? I don't know. I just asked him a question. Kev Hassan.
Yeah, thank you, Stanton. And let me say hi to everybody. Stanton, sometime I wonder if my brother Emmanuel is not an undercover supporter for Unity Party. Without doing his due diligence and understand what happened, and thank you for playing that video, and knowing that this president fired a man for holding a Chinese man accountable, and then he said it's a good thing. I don't understand the fact. I don't understand why some of these guys are in opposition. Because I'm not saying you should beat on the government if the government right, but do your due diligence and understand that Charles Brown, Cooper Craig were going against Charles Brown for months. You can't be sitting on the show. You don't understand or don't know and just go back to those issues and understand. For months. We saw yesterday with Russell, you attack those Mandingo boys. We saw yesterday that the police allow people, a civilian, to beat on the Mandingo guys, right? But you didn't condemn that. We saw what Charles Brown is doing. Charles Brown is doing against you may argue the process, you may argue that, but is that warrant Charles Brown to be fired? Because Charles Brown went against the establishment. He's an outspoken guy. He went against the establishment. He went against Cooper Craig. What Cooper Craig is doing, he get fired because he entered the establishment, and then you guys say, oh, he's fine, he should be fired. You can't run the country like this, man. Folks who taking the law into their own hands, walking around. Gary Coleman can walk on the street and slap a civilian, he will walk free.
So now hold you there, Kev. Let me bring in Cario. Kev, thank you. Cario, I mean, Charlie Brown. They say, my man, you said Joel must go, that time for you to go. But this is another reason why we are flagging today. We'll play more of the video of what took place over there. I mean, what say you, Cario? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, CEO, and a pleasant good evening to the other panelists. It's good to be back. The first thing I like to say is that I trust the judgment of the president, and I trust the wisdom of the president. Based on my trust of his judgment, of President Boykai's wisdom, I am inclined to believe that there was some sort of investigation that was conducted prior to Mr. Charles Brown being relieved from his post. I cannot fathom that President Boykai will proceed to relieve Mr. Charles Brown of his post without firstly investigating or trying to understand what went wrong. Now, I don't know exactly what transpired. I don't know what he may have done. But what I do know is that there was a process to determine something that went wrong and therefore leading to him being relieved. I want to believe so, and I trust the president's judgment. Further to that, what I will add is this. It is easier to campaign, but it's extremely difficult to govern. Because during the campaign, everyone rallies around a narrative, just like I did, with the CDC. Charles Brown did the same thing with the United Party, right? Everyone fought to project what they thought was good for the country. The Liberian people decided to make President Boykai to be president of all Liberians. And he's therefore leading the country of all Liberians, not just one group of people or one set of people. So he has that responsibility. So now when you're in government, it's a higher standard now that is brought into play. And President Boykai has an agenda, that he wants to protect, that he wants to project. Nobody is saying that he's 100% in terms of the decisions that he's taking, because again, show me who is perfect. But he is steadily showing that within the government, that he can take steps to correct things that he perceives, especially with information, to be wrong. So yes, Charles Brown has, what we call in, undergraduate politics, we say struggle history. He has a struggle history of standing up for the Unity Party. It's incontrovertible. Nobody can challenge that. But what is about is not his history. What is about is what is it that President Boykai was presented that led to him being relieved. For example, in the same release that relieved Mr. Brown, Another individual who I've heard was also very instrumental and central to the Unity Party agenda at the what's the entity called, the one that manages the Morovia, consolidated school system, I believe, was also released, right? So that tells you that if these people who have proximity or some strong relationship with the party, etc., can be relieved based on what President Boyka may have seen as wrongdoing whatsoever, then he's serious about government. And I think, as I close now, let me just end the CEO, I beg you. I think what it should signal to all of us, including particularly those who hold government positions, and there is something I said before CEO, that the honeymoon is over, at least for President Boyka. He said, look, 2 years, we get it settled. Now it's settled. I won't entertain anything that I don't believe, support my agenda. So I think that
let's bring in the honor. So we'll do another round on this, Cario. Thank you very much, guys. This is very important for us. You're welcome for us to discuss, because again, share the show. Welcome to Spoon Talk. It's only important that we come in now. Somebody asked a very unique question. Is it because Charles Brown found himself in the wrong place, the wrong time? But let's watch more of the video. Folks, send me the video. If you get any video on Charles Brown, send it. Would like to play it. So let's watch this 33 seconds video, and you can decide though.
You actually process document. Actually, at your work, people process it and get your office or signature. You know, you still looking for document. Signature in the document. You're not there. I don't signature document. Okay, you don't even know my function. I don't signature document. What can I tell you? Why you told me? I'm a senior officer. You must not equal man. Move it to me. Move for the Diana game. One supervisor position. You criminal. Yeah, but supervisor. I'm supervising you now. But why I'm supervising you? Now why I'm supervising you? Is that noise?
So we got to set this thing. We got to set the stage up, Gibson. Joseph Boakai, people he appointed to government, whether they voted for him or they campaigned against him. Look at that display, Gibson. Do you think it's necessary? Where there is no respect, no one professionalism. Gibson, talk to me.
Thank you very much. And hi, everybody. First of all, for us at the CDC, we are happy. We are happy because President Boakai is running the campaign for us against the Unity Party and himself. I wonder, first of all, I noticed that the guy who replaced Charles Brown is also from Foya. I'm getting to be concerned that Joseph Kangba from Foya will replace Charles Brown, because it's becoming habitual that the president continue to appoint people from his hometown whenever he removes someone. I think this is something we are getting more Lothian now in the government, more Lothian are becoming 75% of the government workforce now. So that's the first concern. But Charles Brown may have exhibited bad behavior on the job, especially the one you just played. I think the position got into his head. I think, but that's not Charles Brown alone who has acted in this manner. My concern is, why is the president concerned about Charles Brown at this time with this attitude when others have done the same thing and never been touched? So for us at the CDC, we like it. The man who said George will go, he gone. So we'll see what you're going to do next. Whether you will say George will come, we'll see next. But I mean, for me, I think the president, I thank the president for taking such a decision. The president says they dismissed the man for two reasons, if I'm correct, for ineptitude and corruption. Okay, ineptitude, they may not be able to do the job. But if you dismiss people for corruption, you better prosecute them. That's where I'm looking at right now. That's where my argument is going. if it is true that the president dismissal of Charles Brown is for ineptitude and corruption, ineptitude, okay, he's not able to do the job. But if you accuse Charles Brown of corruption, if you say he did anything improprietary, inappropriate, you better prosecute him. Because corruption is what President Bouakai said he came to fight. So if he is dismissing people for corruption, they should be turned over to the Ministry of Justice or the LACC for prosecution. And I'll let us stop there for now and listen to other people. I got something else to say, but I'll pause on my second round. And I will send you something in a little bit. But all CDC, we are good. CDC, we are we are good. We are happy. We are happy that Joseph Bouakai is just doing the way he's doing it. Then he continue like that. And brother Brown, if you have time, come. Our tent is big. Come for consultation. We'll talk to you. But this is how you don't believe people. I mean, you take arbitrary.
Is this the Joseph? Go ahead, finish up.
Yeah, no. Why you talk about the minister of labor? I wanted to come there, but I will pause for now. I'll keep.
Yeah, please do, guys. Again, welcome to the show. Is this the same guy that served as chief of staff to DeLong? Is this the same guy? This new Inspector General, Banda? I mean, somebody got to check it out because they don't have a chief of staff by that name, and we're trying to verify it. But notwithstanding, though, if you say that now this guy is from Lo-Fi, you got only Lo-Fi and Nema. You got the president and the vice president running the country right now, right? Lo-Fi Nema. I'm not trying to. This is serious, though. This is huge. I mean, Lo-Fi Nema. So if they fire you, they're going to bring somebody from Lo-Fi or they'll bring somebody from Nimba, and that's it. So help me, oh God. And it's true. Is this how President Bouakai want to run the country? The Liberian people can decide. We are confirming this new Inspector General as a former chief of staff to Ibrahim Darius DeLong. So if this guy from Ibrahim Darius DeLong office as former chief of staff, but he's from Lo-Fi, well, we got more to talk about. You saw the video. When Charles Brown said, Joe, we are good. Joe, we are good. Joe, we are good. We tell you, Joe, we are good. I mean, that was very, it was inspiring. Let me play the video, then we'll come to you, my brother Tamba. Let's play this one real quick. Not this one. No. All right, we're gonna upload that video. I told you guys I had it ready, but notwithstanding. Let's hear you, Tamba. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you.
Thank you, CEO, and good evening, colleagues on the panel, and good evening to our listeners in Radio Land and online. Look, I have seen the video. I have followed the video, but we first of all have to understand why Charles Brown is being let go, as per the president's letter, as per the press release, rather, that came from the executive mansion. The buck stopped with the presidency. You see, when things are falling apart and things are not working, we blame the president of Liberia for not taking decisions. When there's corruption, we crown the president. When people are not performing well, like Cooper Cra at Labor Ministry, we blame the president. When the budget is inflated at the legislature, we blame the presidency, even though the legislature is responsible for the budget. But remember, CEO, the president, when he appoints you, you serve at the will and pleasure of the president. If he feels that you are not performing, he has all right to relieve you of that position. You remember earlier last year when the president and his cabinet ministers signed performance agreements, Stanton? I think you guys discussed that on the show. I mean, I have been on there at that time. But this is a president who have said to his cabinet ministers and his directors that you have a performance agreement signed with me. I'm your boss. In the private sector, you have a boss and you have performance goals. If you are not delivering based on those goals, the president has every right to relieve you of that position. Look, I don't know Mr. Kamba, and the name is Kamba, John O. Kamba, who has been appointed. I don't know him. But it doesn't matter whether he's from Lofa County. First of all, he's a Liberian. Is he qualified for the job? This is a question we should be asking ourselves. I think we should stop this thing of assigning everything to original base or county base. We have to appoint people in government based on competence, Gerald. It has to be based on competence. If people are competent and they can do their job, whether they're from Lofa County, whether they're from Nimba County, whether they're from Sando or Grand Cape Mount, they should be given the opportunity to serve their people. And that's what the president should be doing.
Is the president doing it, Tamba, after he not told the whole thing? Like, we don't know the role of the president. We don't know that the president got right to fire and hire. You don't take us back as if to say we don't know. Is the president doing it? That every 85% of the country right now, people that work in higher position in the government from Lofa, where you from, and Nimba County.
If you look at the government,
let me ask a question.
Yes, please.
That only Lofa and Nimba County you get smart people from?
No, I didn't say that.
When you said on the show and saying that they are qualified, so other counties.
I say as long as they are Liberians,
the 13 county don't have no qualified people.
I didn't say that.
No, but that's why you're insinuating.
No, it's not what I said.
You know how many people in the government right now for Lofa alone?
Yeah. Let's do the math.
You know how many people in higher position in this government from Lofa, from Lofa? You telling us that that's the place only you get the book people from? Seriously?
I didn't say that.
Well, he said we should do the math. Let's do the tally. We can just do a quick tally. Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
I mean, we can outline for you if you pretend like you don't know, Tamba. If you pretend on the show tonight like you don't know that we have a serious issue under Joseph Boakai hiring everybody from Lofa and Nimba.
Here's what I said.
Yeah. No. Let's do the tally. Don't go back to what you said. We heard you.
Okay. Where is the minister?
Look at Central Bank.
Let's do the tally. You have
Tamba. It's so hard when you come on the show, some from Lofa, to defend these things because you know why? You will fall out inside. You cannot tell me. You cannot tell me that when President Boakai open his eyes when you call for appointment, the first place you go to Lofa. Finance Minister Lofa. I was saying the whole list. Central Bank Lofa. LRA Lofa. You want us to continue?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's continue. Chief of Staff from where? Let's go through the ministry.
Where's our labor minister from? Where's our labor minister from? Where's our labor minister?
He's from Grand Crew.
It's like no.
No. You don't know. So you don't know. Stop me on the show, man. But let me go back and bring us up to speed.
You actually support process document. Actually, your work.
Listen to this though, Russell. We have an issue. I agree with what Gibson said. Charles Brown, maybe he went above. The document said for corruption, misappropriation, and all other things, right? Let's just agree. Russell. But if the president can do this to Charles Brown, why not the others? We have people in this government that they conducted investigation. LDCC grabbed them, the University of Lofa. Joseph Boakai said he didn't touch the man because it's a conspiracy. The president, the bishop, we show the picture. Our friend, Sam Zina from Bapalu. Joseph Boakai said he didn't touch the man. Though LDCC have investigated and indicted them. Kubakra had big indictment, a big investigation on him that will never end. He from Nimba County. Joseph Boakai not coming close to Kubakra. People in Joseph Boakai office, payroll pathway, still going on. Kubakra. They can't touch Kubakra. They can't touch his daughter. The investigation continues over some of our people that we know of. Is that selective? I know the president get right to fire and hire. But is the president abusing that right? And is he being selective? Let's forget about all this yama. Charles Brown, being unprofessional, if he engaged in corruption, Charles Brown will talk, though. He will talk. Let me tell you guys, he will talk. And if he talks, some of you may not like it. But I have to be back. I have to give this show to the two powerful ANC members, Winfred Russell and Emmanuel George, to conduct. I know it will be a hard one, and I will be back. Today is ANC Day, and I will be back. Kev, don't run away, Kev. They will treat you well. Give me 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Let me be back. Let me recollect. But again, guys, continue to share the show. You are in powerful hands from the ANC brother. Two calls in, by the way. Winfred Russell, Billy D, and Emmanuel British Bone George.
The emergence of the Congo hegemony.
Look at the other travel list coming up with Congo hegemony. Look at, I mean, you should be ashamed what you said. We're not even going to respond to your nonsense, man. Look, we're excited to be here, and let's hear from Councillor Bala. I think you wanted to chime in on on this, or you have not chimed in on this, so we will go to you. But let me just make a full.
Like you, Emmanuel.
Just come for the back again. Yeah.
So let me make it abundantly clear that I'm not a member of the ANC. I've never been a member of the ANC. I do not intend to be a member of the ANC. So let me just lay that out. But Councillor Bala, let's hear you.
Well, we're still on the Charles Brown matter and the president's decision, isn't that so? Pardon?
No, go ahead. I said, let us hear you. Give us your 1 minute. Your 1 minute.
Just to rehash, my opening comments. I sincerely believe that the president has information that's not publicly available regarding to this Charles Brown matter. Now, those of us who are in the public and not privy to additional information about certain kinds of action, we will quickly, we can easily equate one situation to the other. So, for example, CEO was rightfully, I'm sure, based on information he has, raising the issue of, okay, Charles Brown is let go. There may be, or apparently was, some very serious grounds on which the president took a position. All right. But why is the president not acting against other people? Again, apples and oranges may be from the same family, but they are not the same things. Apples are apples and oranges are oranges. So no two situations are the same. No set of facts concerning those particular situations are the same. So we don't know what information that was made available on Charles Brown and to what extent in other cases the president may not have that kind of convincing information in order to take action. So no two situations are the same. It's easy to just criticize and say, why doesn't he just sack other people as well? But we do not know the gravity, and neither do we know what information was made available to him. But one thing that continues to come out of this, and I said that before, like I said, when we talk about the honeymoon being over, right? President Bokar is not afraid to make decisions, especially when it comes to the stewardship of his government and keeping his government in line. This is not the first time he's taking action. It's not the second time he's taking action. And I'm sure in the future, he's going to continue to take action to protect the sanctity of his government based on information that is readily available to him. And I trust his judgment in that regard. So I think this is going to become more and more interesting, but the president is clearly asserting his authority in order to keep his government in the direction that he wants it to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Balak. No, it's true. I mean, I think one of the points that Stanton was making, or we were making, across the board, was that the selectivity of, or what seemed to be selective reprimand. And so if there's going to be reprimand and holding people accountable to try to discourage the widespread impunity in the country, it has to be across the board. Now, Kev, let's hear you. And before you begin your 1 minute, let me say to you that, I don't understand the correlation you try to make between what I said yesterday and what this situation is today. I did not encourage, and I will not encourage anyone to assault another Liberian. It doesn't matter who they are or where they're from. So I just want to make that clear. But let's hear you on the issue at hand that we are discussing now with respect to Mr. Charles Brown.
Yeah, I did not hear you condemning the action of the police yesterday, allowing the civilians to beat on the imam. I did not hear you condemning that, because what I'm saying with Charles Brown, based on that tip, you are firing a man because he's holding a Chinese man accountable. You may debate the method, his action, you will debate, but you say I will fire you because of that. But there are folks who doing more harm in this government. Why are you not firing Cooper Cra for selling our work permit? But you're taking Cooper Cra war against Charles Brown. That is my argument. Why Cooper Cra is not being fired for selling our work permit? Dillon flagged it. But the same Dillon is recommending his office boy to that position. Are you guys not saying things here? You're not saying what's happening in this government? You guys are not seeing the witch hunt? Because Charles Brown, I would not agree with Charles Brown, because Charles Brown said a lot of things against a government that I support, which was wrong. But it doesn't mean I will not call it, because Charles Brown is asking a tough question. He going against the IG, he going against Cooper Cra, he going against the establishment, and nobody talking about that. And the reason I spoke to you, Emmanuel, these are things that I want you to dig deeper and understand that he was going against Cooper Cra. There's a tip out there that he attacked Cooper Cra. Cooper Cra is selling the work permit. Dillon flagged it. So why the president is not taking action against Cooper Cra that's selling our work permit? So the same old Chinese people, the same old foreigner that Charles Brown is talking about. So you wonder why 9% that this government is getting for employment. So when you look what Cooper Cra is doing, and you look what the MCC scorecard is saying, you can see, you can make your judgment right there. So why the president being selective? That's why I want you guys to look into. That's my point right there. So, but if you believe that and you just talk about, Charles Brown is this, and this, we're missing the point.
Okay, we heard you, Kev. Thanks a lot. My co-facilitator here for the night is, or co-moderator for the night is Dr. Thank you.
Okay, Billy, you're delaying. Yeah, thank you so much. Look, Kev, let me elevate this conversation, right? I mean, I will start like this. Patient X comes into my office for counseling, and we're having a conversation. He is having behavioral anxiety because he has been arrested by a white cop, and he has been charged with DUI. He's in his presentation, he's very angry, and he believed that a white cop is a racist. So you asked several questions. One, were you under the influence when you were arrested? Patient X answered yes. Did you run the traffic light when you were arrested? Patient X answered yes. So what do you deal with? Do you deal with the racism, or you deal with his being under the influence? Look, you can fight as much as you want to fight against the system. You can fight. You can develop as much document as you want to develop against the Minister of Labor. But yes, the facts. This gentleman is laying his hands on a foreign national from a country that funds most of the activities in Liberia. Do you think any president or any government won't look at this case with 3 eyes? You kidding me? This level is elevated to a diplomatic level. That's a Chinese citizen. The Chinese build your ministerial complex. The Chinese are building your flyover bridge. And an inspector general of the Republic of Liberia is caught on video with his hands on a foreign citizen, foreign national from China. And you expect that would be clapping for him because he's fighting against the Minister of Labor? He should have kept his hands to himself if he wanted to fight against the Ministry of Labor. So yes, I'm in opposition, but I'm not in opposition with blind eyes. I have 2 eyes I can see. And when we come into government, we don't expect that those who are working with us will be taking their hands on the countries that are our best friends and our partner in development. So Mr. Brown made an error in judgment to be caught on camera first and to lay his hands on a citizen from a country that supposed Liberia budget in a country that is a backward nation like Liberia. He can do that in a country that don't go around begging all around the world. But whenever our president travel, we expect him to travel to be a backup. We made our president a backup man, and the Chinese are doing work in Liberia. So Brown was wrong. And yes, but my question is that yes, you have done this with Brown. Brown was caught openly having his hands on a foreign national. How about a person who had a president in front of international media standing to clap for $79 million Yellow Bishi, sharing the process? Even for the following week, the Minister of Foreign Affairs to come out and say the whole thing that happened at the president, the cabinet retreat, was a lie. And that person is still in this government. So yes, I agree with you at the point of this selective judgment, because this thing must cut across everybody else for us to know that this government is serious. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. George. Tamba, let's hear you, and then we'll go to Gibson and work our way down to Darius. Tamba, what says you? We're not hearing you.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I always like to mute myself in the back end because I don't like to disrupt. Look, it's a pleasure to be here. Always, when I come here, it's about Liberia. And the opposition may come here. Look, Brother Emmanuel, I appreciate you and I respect you a lot. And I don't see, let me see the CDC on the show tonight. Jeru and Kev Hassan. Let me just say this to you. Your plan to come back is not happening. If even JMB were to fail, CDC will not be an option. We will be options. I just want you to know that. We see when the president, when the president makes decision, then we complain. Why did the president let the man go? Why did the president terminate the man? The president is doing selective justice. This is the same president when he's not acting. Then we say the president is slow to act. The president is slow to act. Why haven't he fired this person? Why haven't he terminated this person? Stop the shenanigans, man. Let's be real. Let's put our breath first. Let me tell you, the presidency comes with authority. The presidency comes with power. But also when the president acts, it means the president has received enough intelligence. He has received information. He has received investigation reports before he acts. And I know this president. I have had dinner with this president. I have sat with him. We have talked. And I know what he means for Liberia. Look, he may not be doing everything we want for this country at this time. Given how entrenched Liberian is, how the cartels are even frustrating his effort to crack down on corruption. You know that, Emmanuel. You know that, Gerald, you know that. Gerald, you've been around. You've been a journalist. We've been writing for the last 20 years. We've been advocating for Liberia. When someone comes on the stage and that person is trying to make an honest effort to make a difference, you may be an opposition. You may be trying to position yourself for 2029, but we're not there yet. This president has just been 2 years in his administration. Give him a chance. Let him make the decisions. Let him terminate people who are not performing. Let him remove underperforming people. And I say again to this president, if people are involved in corruption, they should have no place in this administration. If people have been indicted by the LACC or the AREPT team, they should have no place in this government. And that's
there's no place for corruption ever in Liberia. Thank you. Tamba. So like that point. So on that note, we will transition now to Mr. Jeru Gibson. What's your contribution? What would you like to add to this conversation with respect to Charles Gibson and the apparent selective nature of his firing?
Like I said, I like Tama's job. It's a very beautiful job. We like it. For me, I don't take anything personal, but I like the job. But I will repeat. President Bouakai is campaigning on behalf of the opposition, and the biggest opposition in the House happens to be the CDC. And I can see a very large coalition that is going to be formed with the help of the CDC, the ANC, the CMC, and there's going to be a compromise candidate, and it will be a coalition for democratic change. But I can tell you for sure that what the President Bouakai is doing, I just gave you a snippet of what he has done. If you remove someone, he put a Nibai in the position. It happened at the Ministry of Lands and Mines. He removed a neighbor man and put another neighbor man. I don't know whether he's trying to appease them. He removed Brown and put a man from his own town, Foya. So you are now looking at the inherent practice of the president, appointment attitude that seems to be directed at just two counties. Now, stand to ask a question that we have not answered. For every time you appoint, it has to come from Nima or it comes from Lofa. Mostly no Lofa. Are there no other qualified people in the Republic of Liberia that can occupy the Inspector General position at the Ministry of Labor? My answer will be a round, I can't really call it a rousing yes. And there are qualified people from other counties. Try to interspice a little bit. Now, there's a Liberian law called the executive law that mandates the presidential appointment to be across the board, geographical balance. When the president is appointing, he must be conscious of geographical balance. So why is this president always appointing people from either Lofa or from Nima? Now, I'm not against Nima or I'm not against Lofa. I don't know if they are the only educated people in Liberia, but we now have more than 35 people, 35 senior government officials from Lofa now. 35. When George Weah was president, you all said from the Southeast, there were 27 senior government officials from the Southeast, a whole region. You compare 27 to 35 senior government officials from Lofa alone. Lofa alone. But let me do the honorable thing. Nobody for me, I can't be part of any government. I haven't been before. I don't know how it looks like to be in government. I don't know what your policy, your attitude, your everything has changed. I don't know about that. But the day I'm in government, one of the things I will fight for is government ministers, government officials should not put their hand on people. I mean, it doesn't make sense. You got police, you got all security people that you can use to do what you think they're supposed to be doing. An inspector of the labor ministry, you should have access to police. If somebody is doing something wrongly, you can bring the police into that. The police can take control. I will now hold a Chinese man here trying to pull the Chinese man into the vehicle. Why would I want to do that? Why if that Chinese man even attack one of them, man blow my nose running? I can't do that. So yes, Tama, you and I are on the same page. But generally, the president is dismissing this man for corruption. He shouldn't let him go because that's why he's fighting for. If you say you are dismissed for administrative reason, we got no reason to do anything. Well, okay, the president already got to escape. But when you say you are dismissing someone for ineptitude and corruption, you better prosecute him for corruption. That's where I stand on this issue.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Giroux. So that if you're saying that you're getting rid of person X because of corruption, the logical next step should be that they should be turned over to to prosecutors. Okay, a fair point. Darius, what's your contribution to this conversation? And then we'll come back around the horn. But after Darius, let us have a very courageous and healthy conversation around this geographic balance of appointment in the country. I think, I know Stanton talked about it, and in response to what Tamba was saying, and we sort of left it lingering there. So and then Gibson spoke about it too as well. So we're going to talk about this, Gibson and Tamba, in the next round in our conversation. But Darius, let's hear you. You're muted. You're muted, sir.
Okay. So thank you. I think the president has the power to appoint and dismiss. And so the president has dismissed Mr. Charles Brown. And we are hearing that his dismissal is attached to the beating of the Chinese investor, and then coupled with alleged act of corruption. So like Gibson said, if he is dismissed or being dismissed for corruption, that should not just end there. He should be prosecuted. Is it true that there have been clash between Charles Brown and that of Minister Kupokra? Yes, according to sources. But how far is that? And how can you link that to his action of beating a Chinese investor and the action of corruption? How can you link that to be the reasons why you think influenced his dismissal? Is it also confirmed that partisans of MDR political party has taken over the Ministry of Labor? Yes, Sosi has confirmed that also. But the question will be, why will the president appoint Senator DeLong, former chief of office staff, when Senator DeLong has been on the neck of the Minister of Labor over the issue of work permits being sold to foreigners? Why will you go?
So you think it's appeasement? You think that the appointment was made to appease?
I'm critically looking at that. Why would you go for Senator DeLong? Why will you go for Senator DeLong, former chief of office staff? Just a day ago, the MDR party, under the leadership of the Minister of Labor, issued a press statement against Senator DeLong. I think that should be a day ago. While is this coming up about Senator Dillon, former chief of office staff, being appointed to replace Charles Brown? So these are issues that we all looking into. But I think, like I said, the president has the power to appoint and dismiss. And looking at the allegation about beating a Chinese investor, the allegation of corruption, I think, look, watching that video, I can only safely say that Charles Brown has refused to grow up, because nowhere in the world you see an inspector general will go enforce the law and beat on, let's forget about foreigner, our own citizen. Okay, if the person resisted the arrest, you bring the law enforcement, not yourself as an inspector general to do that. So that's my own opinion.
Thank you. So what we're going to do now, let's, I think, guys, we should discuss the issue around the tribalization of the current government or the current administration, because we remember vividly now. So if you look at the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration, I don't remember those, charges being leveled against her about some sort of regional or tribal imbalance in the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration. We heard that loudly during the Weah administration. There were accusations that a lot of the people holding senior level positions in government came from the Southeast. I mean, there were a lot of talk about that. And now we are in the Boyka administration. We are hearing it resurface. I mean, the whole idea about a lot of senior government positions and so being held by people in people from Lofa or from Nimba. And for full disclosure, but this part of the conversation, I will bring on my co-moderator to moderate this part of the program, because for full disclosure, I have roots in Nimba. Also with Nimba, my maternal grandfather is from Tapata, and I grew up in Ganta, so I have roots in Nimba. So for to be fair and balanced, we allowed Dr. George to moderate this part of the conversation as we talk about, is it possible, to have a geographic balance as far as appointments in government, as far as positions in government. So let's talk about that. Let's look at that. Let's look at the executive law that mandates that we have a geographic balance in whole government and government structure, administration, and all of that. That we have tribal balance, geographic balance, as Mr. Giroux just said. So let's talk about that. Has MDR, political party that is mainly from Nimba as well, has MDR taken over the Ministry of Labor, as was alleged by Darius? I know Darius is no longer on the show. Now, if we need to take some calls, maybe we can take some calls to hear from the people. But Dr. George, I will allow you to come in, to step forward and moderate this part of this the conversation, just to be fair and balanced, since I have Nimba connection. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Benedict. First of all, I would divorce myself from the word tribe. If you forgive me, as a staunch African historian, I strongly believe we don't have tribes in Africa. So I normally like to divorce myself from that part of using tribe as a terminology, because it's deeply rooted in European racism, which we don't. But Kanu, you're the lawyer on the platform, so let's start from you. You know the executive order that is in place about having the spread of people in government from different counties and different ethnic groups in Liberia. What say you? And as you answer this question, Kanu, there's this thing that is bothering me, and you the lawyer again, so you can marry the two in your 2 minutes, is that the Inspector General of the Inspector General at the Ministry of Labor or at the Ministry of Commerce, are they political appointees? Are they not career civil servants?
Well, thank you. Let's start firstly by talking about the point. I think the overall, conversation is about regional balance and how the government reflects that balance, whether it be it region or ethnicity or whatsoever. And so if we're looking at it from a legal standpoint, I think the first place to start with to look at the Constitution and what the Constitution provides for in terms of the form and the composition of our government. Particular aspects speak to that, even if not specifically. For example, under the principle of national integration and unity within the Constitution, it makes it very clear that the government should reflect the diverse mosaic of the country in terms of who we are and the different types of people, of tribal identities that we have. It also talks about equal opportunity, which then means that everyone should have at least a fair shot at having some sort of representation. Now, equal opportunity does not necessarily mean everyone is going to get the same, but that access should be created for everyone as well. That said, I know, I've heard the allegations of overrepresentation of Lofa in the government. And for me, I don't think that the way it's being interpreted is supported by the reality on the ground. The reason is simple. People tend to see counties that are multi-ethnic in nature, and we band that county together, and in that respect, we claim that there's an overrepresentation. So if you go to Lofa County today, and I'm trying to unpack this, you know that within Lofa, you're talking about Kisi people, Loma people, Bandi people, Mandingo people, what the other ones near the border as well. Mende people also are in Lofa County as well. So there are multiple tribes. The same thing with Nimba, where you have the ones that we know, very clearly, the Mano and the Gios, but you have Krans, you have Basas, you have other people that are also Nimbayans and Mandingos as well that are in Nimba County. But automatically, when these people are appointed to government, people say, oh, they're from Lofa, or they're from Nimba, or they're from this county, and that's not how we should run the country. I'll give you another example. I come from the Grand Judea Bar. Now, every Supreme Court justice is associated with a bar, primarily from the county from which they hail. I'm not sure whether most of you will know that Justice Yusuf Kaba is associated as a member of the Grand Judea Bar, and he comes from Grand Judea County. That is his county of origin, right? But again, because we tend to tribalize most of the things we do, people will not see it that way. So my point is that before we jump and start talking about, to wrap up, talking about the overrepresentation of a county, and Dr. George, you made an excellent point around the constructs that force us to see whether you're from this part or from that part, whether it was imported or not. But these subsets of people do not necessarily mean that they are all homogeneous. So it's important for us to begin to point that out. You will find those tribes even in different counties as well. It's just important that we all get a fair shot. Also taking into consideration the population of some of these places. Some counties have more people, others have less. So even the per capita argument can be made. Thank you in that regard.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Bala. I will still come back with that question about whether an inspector general is a career position or a political appointee. Kev, what's your say on this topic?
I will go back to my comments, Emmanuel. Okay. I listened to Darius and what Darius said. You listen to Darius Dillon attacking Cooper Cry, and JMB said, I was sweetening the pie for you. He said, I was sweetening the pie for you. he took his office boy and put in the position of Charles Brown. If that don't catch your eyes, then I don't know. But Emmanuel, being in an opposition, it doesn't mean that you have to play a role that the government should see you as a good guy. The name opposition, you're not a good guy to them anyway. You should not play that role to say, I'm a good guy, so I will be in the middle, I will try to do things. No. We're dealing with a government that believes in tyranny. We're dealing with a government that is very ruthless. That is the kind of government that we're dealing with. We're not dealing with a normal situation. It's not a normal government this we're dealing with, Emmanuel. We are dealing with a man that formulates a story and call the past government and say, I want to testify against Mr. Cummings. We're dealing with a man that formulated that whole thing, finger thing. He formulated that thing. I don't know what you're thinking, Emmanuel. These are people that formulate the entire finger thing against Mr. Cummings. That's the kind of man we're dealing with. He used Mr. Cummings through the CPP, and then he get his boys to formulate story. And that's the same thing. So nothing come out of this mansion, I would believe, because I know when those guys were calling the government and say, we want to testify, I want to testify. So you're not dealing with a normal situation. I understand where you come from, Emmanuel. You want to be that opposition to say, when it's good, we'll call it good. When it's bad, we'll call it bad. That's not this government. It's a ruthless government.
Thank you, Kev. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You understand?
Thank you, Kev.
30 seconds, Emmanuel. But for getting the office boy of Dillon in our position, it is sweetening the pie. And secondly, it's not a mistake for them to get a Lufian there. It's not a mistake because this person is so troublous.
Okay, Kev. Thank you. I mean, that's a good opinion, and it's good for us to speak around it. You know, Kev, as I go to Tamba, in the 1980s, the early 1980s, right, 70s, 80s, when Bacchus Matthew returned to Liberia, Gibson will remember this very well. I'm sure you follow politics at that time. You know, Bacchus Matthew challenged us in Liberia to go to look at the 15 ethnic groups to find the word how they call it, the word opposition in our local dialect. Let's find it. And at the end of the day, it was found out that in every local dialect, and I need to try that too when I was working in Nigeria with my students, in every native African dialect, opposition mean enemies. So that's why the Bacchus Matthew challenged us to understand that word, that we don't have any word in our native African tongue to ready or have the conversation around opposition, because all the time it means that you are the enemy for those in power. But Tama, what do you think about this issue of ethnic balance in our government?
Are you going over Jerome? You jumping over Jerome?
You know we can't have CDC and CDC now. You know the drill on this show. Tama, we're not hearing you. We're not hearing you, Tama.
All right, thank you, Josh, Emmanuel, thank you so much. Jeru, I'm sure Jeru won't mind if I go after him before him, right? Thank you, Jeru. Thank you. And I'm thinking that I think Dr. George is trying to bring the tribal balance here, because he have had two Sidician speaks. Councillor Kanyo, and you, Kev, you guys are Sidicians. And then Jeru is another Sidician. Three of you on the show tonight.
Kanyo is a renegade Sidician. It's a renegade.
Kanyo backslide. He needs to repent.
All right, let me call him a backslider. But Kanyo have meeting every day, even though he's a centrist, but he stay a partisan of CDC. I may be wrong, but I've heard
it. We have to put the country first, my brother. It's not about party line. It's about what is good for the country.
And welcome. And that's what we want. So let me tell you, when the likes of Kev speak, you hear the partisan rhetoric. And I don't beat on Kev tonight, but Kev is a partisan. Everything about Kev is partisan. Everything about Kev is what? Opposition. Whether the president is doing right, you got to oppose. And I've seen it in a couple of my CDCN brothers. And Dr. George, this is where I think ANC can learn a thing or two. You guys need to do better as an opposition. Opposition doesn't have to be, if you find yourself in the opposition, it doesn't have to be that you have to disagree with everything the government is doing. When the government is doing right, you give them credit. When the government is doing wrong, then you call them out. That's my role. You see, my uncle is president because I'm a Kisi man from Lofa County. But the Kisi people of Lofa County, we are not alone. We are 6 tribes from Lofa County. Lofa is the county that have the most diversity across Liberia.
Let me not this. Why you keep saying Kisi is a tribe when Kisi is in Cameroon, Kisi is in so many other countries in Africa, but you keep calling them tribe.
Yeah, Kisi is in Kenya too.
All right, thank you. That's very good. That's very good. You know, in Liberia, we have 16 tribes, right? So Kisi is classified even in our history books as what? One of the 16 tribes of Liberia. And I'm speaking from that context. But I know where the Kisis are from. I know the Kisi people have.
They are in Kenya.
Exactly. Do you know that the first money in Liberia was created by the Kisi people? Do you know that?
Okay, let's go to the point we have a show on that next time.
Exactly. But just to say this, right? Let me digress. Look, gentlemen, we can beat on the president all day, but the buck stops with the presidency. And yesterday we spoke on the show, and one thing I recommended, I say, the presidency and the vice presidency, they shouldn't let people run circles around them. I saw the video. The video shows insubordination. The video shows disrespect. But I also believe that given his firing now by the president, he should be investigated. The Charles Brown fellow, he should be investigated. Right? And John Kangba should go there and serve well. But Liberia, look, we need to think as Liberia, as a secular state, as a state that have diversity. And we need to accept each other. If I look at the government today, let me just look at the ministers at the cabinet level. Who is Minister of Justice? Oswald Twe. Where's Oswald Twe from? Southeast. Who is Minister of Agriculture? Alexander Nuta. Where is Alexander Nuta from? Bonkante. Right? And I can go on. I know Wemope were recently fired. But where was Wemope from? Nimba County. Where's Councilor Kura from? Nimba County. Where's Mamaka Belede from? She's a Manigo woman. I don't know whether she's from Lofa or whether she's from Nimba. So it's not just the county. Look at the tribal and the ethnic balance in this government. I always recommend that when the president appoints people, you should look for what? Quality and competence or tribal affiliation. And that's my position, Dr. Josh.
Okay. Thank you. Gibson, you want to go ahead and then follow by.
You know, look, you see, I like the way the people can discuss it. First of all, Joseph Boakai does not like Grand Jide. Grand Jide is the most affected county in this government. He never liked Grand Jide, and he never did. I know about 2 appointees from Grand Jide. One is an Ambassador George Solo, because George Solo opposed George Weah so vehemently. So in order to rub in George Weah's face, you got to appoint George Solo to be an ambassador. And then my own brother, Nuta, they call it the deputy for the deputy commissioner for our Liberia Commission program. But let me just give you an idea, just off my head. I don't even know everybody yet, but just off my head, if you look at the appointments in government from Lofa, especially from the Kisi leaning tribe, let's say the mayor of Morovia. Mayor of Morovia is a Kisi man. and he's from Lofa. AFL Chief of Staff, the Minister of Internal Affairs, a Kisi man, especially a relative of President Bouakai, Minister of Youth and Sports, Lofa, the Legis Director, Lofa, the Deputy Minister of Public Affairs for Public Works, Deputy Minister for Public Works, Lofa, the Minister of Commerce, Minister from Lofa. Oh, head of the LRA, another cousin of Joseph Boakai, Lofa, Minister of Education, a very distant cousin of Joseph Boakai, Lofa, Deputy Director for General Administration, GSA, Lofa. Who else again? Assistant Minister of Special Services, Minister of State for without portfolio, Lofa. Let me see. The Managing Director of the Liberia Telecommunication Corporation, Lofa. The Director General of the Liberia Development Agency Corporation, Lofa. What else again can I call? The office in charge of NOCA, Lofa. The Deputy Minister for Minister of State, Lofa. I'm not even talking about the Minister of Finance yet. Imagine, just you grab a picture. It just off my head. If I just decide to sit down and compare the list, and 90% of the people I call general, they are all Kisi. Oh, I forgot. The chairman of the National Central Bank of Liberia, they removed a crown man, put a Lofa man, a cousin of Joseph Boakai, a nephew of Joseph Boakai. Oh, I can just sit down. I've sat down here and named 17 people off my head. 90% Kisi. And you guys, how can we can be naive? Sometimes we can pretend, but we can be naive. Joseph Boakai is an ethnocentric individual.
30 seconds.
How many seconds?
30.
You realize
now I'm going into the meat. Now I'm going into the meat. Dr. Joyce, now you want to set the centrist.
Yeah. I think you need to go to can you? As soon as you say
okay. So, Dr. Joyce, tell me now. Tell me.
Being balanced is not a bad thing. You can't just be in opposition to everything, Kev.
Okay, gentlemen. Let's give Jerry.
Dr. Joyce, I want you to picture it for a second. I sat here looking at you people up the top of my head. I named 18 people off the top of my head. 90% of them, they are all Kisi. And then Grand Jere only have 2 individuals appointed in government. One at the Maritime as a deputy, and the other one is just made ambassador recently to Europe.
How about River says?
River says, I don't even know, but I'm not from River says, my brother.
Grand Crew.
I know. You're from River says, you're going to you got to name why.
Okay, thank you, Getty, and thank you for the picture you drew for our viewers to understand this, because if you don't have the names and you don't have the numbers, we're always speaking off our head. But you drew a very wonderful picture, and I appreciate that. And that's why I hope people in government listings and see them, they can vividly see the picture you drew from your head. 18 persons in this government holding key positions. That's what we say, holding key position from Lofa County, especially trying to debunk Tama conversation. They are from Lofa County, especially from the Kisi part of Lofa County. That was a beautiful picture you drew, and it's something that we have to keep reminding our Liberian people about this, especially after Councillor Mbala quoted the law about the regional balance in cabinet appointment. Benedict.
Yeah, no, thanks. Fascinating conversation. But okay, so I understand the point Councillor Bala has made, and Tamba has also made too as well. So if we were to take away, and I know Dr. George, you don't want to use this Western-based nomenclature, the tribe. But if we were to look at whether it's cultural or ethnic, we look at ethnicity. So, okay, if we did away with tribe, and what Gibson just, illustrated, I mean, it's a powerful message, like you said, so, and that's the thing, it's sort of like, if you can come up with a tangible list, I think it sends a very powerful picture, and that's what he just tried to do from memory, which is really good. So if we were to take out the tribe, so can we try to accomplish, if not, tribal balance, what about professional balance or regional balance? So even if it's not tried, Councilor Bala, why, just from the anecdotal information that Gibson provided, so if you have about 18 or at least about 75% of the people coming from Lofa County, forget about the tribe. That's an imbalance right there. So could we have a professional balance, or could we have, could we strive for a regional balance? Is that not something that we should aspire to, even if we look in this country, where many of us are? There's no way, if Trump had appointed everybody from Florida or from New York, people will be screaming, bloody murder. I mean, you just can't do that. It doesn't mean that they're not all Liberians or they're not all Americans, but it's just bad politics, period. So forget about the tribe. We know there are a lot of tribes from Lofa, right? But it is skewed in that direction if you have many of the people from that region, right? Councilor Ballard, isn't that a problem?
Yeah, I think, yeah, Councilor Bala, will come to your time and you can continue. I'll turn over. But I think it's an issue, Councilor Bala, think about that. I think it's an issue. The first thing is that just on this set, as we're having this conversation, right? My dear brother Tamba have called the president his uncle because they are from the same ethnic division, right? So imagine if you have 18 cabinet ministers at the cabinet meeting, that every one of them see the president as their uncle. Think about that conversation. They would use the ethnic how they call it, the ethnic culture to have the conversation instead of having a frank conversation. But if you bring people from different area, different ethnic groups, they can bring that conversation to the table. That's one. The second thing is that when you have people from different regions, they can definitely present the picture to Mr. President as to what is happening in a region and what needs to be done in those regions. Because if you have a number of Kisi people around the table, their worldview may be limited to Lofa County, Foya, right? So they may not know what is happening in Nima County. They may not have the worldview of what the Grangians like Jason Gerald is feeling, my bombing brother Kev and myself is feeling coming from bombing or from Bon County, what we feel in that area, because the picture may not be drawn like that in the cabinet meeting. But I will conclude like this and go to Kanyo to answer your question, is that a U.S. senator in 1832 and the Christian Bible have this quotation: to the victors goes the spoils. Election has consequences. And that's the reason when we go to vote, we should vote thinking that elections have consequences. And if we are looking for people who will lead our country respecting our laws, we should definitely think twice as we go to the poll, so that we can employ, hire people that will rule our country, who are respectful about our laws, who will respect this regional balance, and who will understand that you need to have everybody on the table in order for us to develop a good Liberia, or a wonderful Liberia. Kano, you can answer the question, and then I'm going to turn over to Bidedi. He has the next topic.
I think the question was about it being problematic, irrespective of the fact that these are multi-ethnic regions. But I still maintain my point, right? If we look at, you can call it tribalistic if you want, But if you look at how we organize Liberians as a whole, how we organize around cultural identity, you will agree with me that the county, yes, has a role, but also the tribe as a subset is also big. That's why in Monrovia, for example, a person who is Mandingo may come from Bomi, may come from some part of Cape Mount, may come from Lofa, may come from Nimba. But when they are organizing in Monrovia, it will be a Mandingo organization. It wouldn't be a county organization. And that's why when you have issues that affect them, it is seen as that tribal nation. You know, my papa always used to say the crown nation. And I can understand why he would say the crown nation, because that cultural identity of being a crown person is not necessarily the county or the land, but the identity that's associated with that particular orientation. So when you have people who may come from the same county, let's assume that you went and you appointed only Loma people. Let's take it for that. And you say Lofa County is represented. You think in that county, the other tribes that are there will see it as a representation of Lofa County? Not necessarily. They will always want to see the subset being represented. The same thing can be said for other tribes that are, you know, in other counties, I mean, in multiple counties. So my point is, before we reach a conclusion and say there is an overrepresentation, let us go down to that cultural identity that is there. The second thing is, sometimes you must also do a per capita assessment. Per capita assessment in terms of the size of the county. Take Nimba, for example. Nimba is a very populated county, second only to Monserrado County. So if we are talking about adequate representation, there are more people in Nimba compared to other counties. So even for development purposes, if you're building schools in Nimba, it will not be the same amount of schools you will build in Grand Cru. And I'm not saying that you should deprioritize other areas, but development is influenced by the numbers as well. So more people may be represented, but doesn't mean that it's to the exclusion of others, not necessarily, because there are more people there. The same thing can be said about other counties. But what I do agree with is that we should strive for greater integration, like the Constitution said. Let's try to make the government reflective of the population.
I think that's exactly the point we're trying to raise here. I'm Mohammed Fofana, thank you for bringing all this point in the chat section that we have 6 ethnic groups in Nimba and 5 in Lofa, that's 11. And we have 16 in the country. Thank you for bringing it up. But the issue is that I think what we are speaking to is the integration of the different ethnic groups from the different county, where someone can see their representation. I can remember this argument that representation matters. That's one of the reasons why we had a 1980 coup, where people felt that one group of Liberians were leading the country, and their voices was not heard. So representation matters, and I believe the list is getting long. I have a list of about 60 persons now who are in key government positions that are from Lofa County. And that doesn't alter well for the rest of the country, because they are intelligent, smart people. I have been around Liberians for a very long time. I had a lot of conversation with Liberians. They are intelligent, smart Liberians from every ethnic group in Liberia and from every one of the 15 counties in Liberia. Liberians are extremely smart. Once given the opportunity, we get out there, we lead the classroom, we become first in everywhere we work. So the president has a list of Liberians to select from. Having over 60 persons from one county is not a good optics for this government in key government position. Conor Gray, you are here. Welcome to the show. Did you listen to what we're talking about, or can I turn over to Billy?
Hold up, yeah. Before Conor Gray
listen, but
hold on a second, Conor Gray.
Are you two designated as people to steer the panel?
That's what's going on.
Village is just a newcomer. George is a newcomer. Some of us are doing
it's not about longevity.
Skill and finesse and education to do that as well. Stanton, are these the only two designated for this this function? I avail myself. I'm willing to.
No, but okay. I don't see anything.
No. Hey, Hassan, I'm not talking to you. Careful, son.
Early
I'm not talking to you. Let's put some spice in the show a little bit. That's how it's supposed to be. The question is directed to you.
No, hold up. Hold up.
Really, you have to hold on. Let me speak with Stanton.
I don't think it's about you.
You have to hold on. Dr. George gave me the platform, so let me use it and direct my.
Dr. George,
we're talking about equity. We're talking about equity. So this is very important. Let me hear from Stanton. Just hold on a little bit.
How difficult it is to moderate show like this, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
I said, now you see how difficult it is to moderate show like this.
No, it's not difficult.
We're talking about equity and representation. Let us
say something. Say something.
Okay.
Stanton, are these the only two individuals you've designated? Let me ask that question. I deserve an answer.
You come on. So I know what you're talking. You're a newcomer.
Careful. So
you guys are
careful. So Conor Gray.
Yeah.
You just came on, right?
Yeah, I did.
All right. So I started the show. I had to leave to go pick up my son for 45 minutes, and I asked Winfred Russell and Emmanuel George to take care of the show till I return. You wasn't on. I couldn't have given it to you in your absence, and that's why we asked them to do the show. Is that okay?
Can I comment?
I just got back. You
saw me comment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yesterday I was on. You left the show.
You see, it's 2 minutes for that because I got to be equitable.
No, that's the second Gibson. You left the show 2 minutes. Gibson is a veteran. He could have hosted. Another individual was there. I was there. But it's becoming a pattern. I just want to caution you. We're talking about equity and representation. So why you decided to counter me?
So Conor Gray, when you come to church late, we cannot start the song over.
But other members were there before me.
Sir, I didn't interrupt you. You were late yesterday, sir. Gibson himself was late yesterday. We started the show without Gibson. It took that 30-something minutes for Gibson to join. Likewise, you. On this set, may I finish, please? On this set, everybody equal. No one is above the law. Everybody from Liberia, whether you from Grand Jidel at Kayo, you from Grand Jidel at Kef, you from Grand Jidel at Gibson, wherever you find yourself, once you come on the show, you want to host tomorrow, Conor Gray? Be my guest. Host the show tomorrow. I will be so happy. But today, because I was off and you were absent, Winfred Russell and Emmanuel George, both of them, one from ANC, the other 50% ANC, we give it to them. Let's allow them to do a beautiful job today. Tomorrow you can host the show. Tomorrow is one-on-one with the CEO, but I will give it to you if you don't mind.
No, it's not. Tomorrow is a specific show. So let me make my comment now.
No, so you can make your comments. We got to go back to them, and then they will direct us because we just got on again. Who's to speak next? So Mr. Russell and Mr. George, is all yours.
Yeah, thank you. No, all I wanted to do, we'll come to you. I think it was Conor Gray, right? Dr. George, who came in after. So the one thing I was just trying to do is to enter into the conversation, and we've been having a beautiful conversation. I step aside to avoid conflict of interest, and Dr. George has been moderating this segment of the show. But I just, we're looking at.
But can I just close on this, because I just came to tell you guys are doing great, good show. I'm going to step away, and I will leave with you guys. You have maybe another 55 minutes to go. Can I just close on this topic because I heard my brother Kyle speaking. If you don't mind, can agree because
before Stanton, to get your point, what I wanted to put in the mix and then open it up so folks can chime in and you can just chime in. I just wanted to talk about if we can do appointments since we don't want to look at tribe, but can we do it like proportional to the population, to the tribe? So if we, since we cannot accomplish other variables, because I think that if, for example, if you look at New York City, for example, Donald Trump originally came from New York City. All of us know here, if 90% or 75%, as it is the case in Liberia, came from New York City, there'll be a problem. Okay. And New York City have people of different tribal, different religious, different racial background, from New York City. But if you just appointed a lot of the folks from that northeast corner of the country or from that state alone, there will be a problem. So I was just saying, if we can accomplish, how can we accomplish that?
Russell, let me say this. I think it's a disappointment from President Bouakai. President Bouakai ran on a message to bring everyone together in government, not to focus on it. Listen, he's from Lofa. If the president can have over 70 senior staff within his government, 70% from Lofa, that's a problem. I agree you got 5 or 6 tribes from Lofa. Sorry that Kanye left. I have a legal question to ask Kanye. Maybe he will come back to answer. You have 5 or 6 tribes. We beat on George Manneh. We are from the southeastern region. He has so many people from all those 5 counties from the southeastern region. President Bouakai ran to bring everyone together, not to marginalize certain group of people or tribes. I'm listening to my brother Emmanuel George trying to play with it. I'm getting concerned with Brother George, like what Kev said. Kev, I'm getting concerned with Emmanuel George. He's a gracious opposition. We gotta say as it is. You don't want to be. This is not religion, Emmanuel. I know you are speaking to your consultant, and that's why you put your hand to your mouth. That's okay. But Emmanuel, Mr. George, Dr. George, as you speak to your consultants, that you cannot be a gracious opposition, my brother. Enough is enough. Your probation over. You are no more on probation. You are on Spoon Talk now. But for us to sit there and say over 70%, everybody, either from Nimba or Lofa, that's not good for President Bouakai. That's not good for President Bouakai. And I know the Unity Party people will get mad. But we saw President Bouakai, a man of all tribes. Like Uncle Pete, the man of all counties. That's how I saw President Bouakai. Whether you Kru, you Madingo, you Gio, you Pele, you Loma, you Kisi, you Basso, you Grebo, you De, you Gola, you Mende, wherever you find yourself. We saw that in President Bouakai. Is it reflecting today? Let me be serious. This is how I talk. Is it reflecting today? Let us go down the line. Have you guys read what is circulating around? The people within themselves, they feel that they are different. I never expected President Bouakai to make his selection just because you are from Lofa or you're from Nimba. I never expected that. I expected President Bouakai to be across the board, equal, proportionally to all tribes and counties. Where's Brother Kanyo? Minister of Finance, Augusto Bega Fan, Lofa, Liberia Revenue Authority, James Dobojala, Lofa, Central Bank, Lofa, CBL, Lofa, Armed Forces, Lofa, the Chief of Staff, Justice Minister, Lofa, Minister of State for all presidential affairs, Mama Kability, Lofa, Minister of State Anthony Kessely, Lofa, Minister of Commerce, and endorsement Mandela Cooper, Mandela Dakose, Lofa, you know, Tano Jake, Deputy Minister for Administration, Lofa, Minister of Health, Social Work, Lofa, Minister of Gender, Children Protection, Lofa, Minister of Education, Lofa, Minister of Education, the deputy over there, his name is Nimpan Fopa, Lofa, Civil Service Agent Centurion, Lofa, Minister of Internal Affairs, Lofa, you know, the deputies are those ministries, Lofa, National Commission on Small Arms, Lofa, Liberia Immigration Authorities, Steve Zago, the Tokyo, the brother, another Lofian there. Liberia Aviation, Julius Dennis, Lofa. Listen, look at LTA, Clarence Massacre, Lofa. So the whole country that Lofa. What's your argument? This is not the Joseph Boakai that we asked the Liberian people to vote for. How many ministry and agencies do we have in Liberia? Can anyone tell us? Maybe some of you are afraid to talk, but what I was saying, like I always say, Gibson, I don't want job for President Boakai. I love President Boakai, so I will always say the truth. Can we go down the list again? Not me saying this thing is there. It's there. Everywhere, Euphrates Port, Ko Bangalore Lofa, National Port Authority. And you know, you can go down the line. If you're not from Lofa directly, you got connection to Lofa, FIA, Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment, LACE, Office of the President, Jacob McCauley, to LPRA, Liberia Petroleum Refinery Corporation, and you know, Rufus Tano, National Oil Nocal. You know, we can go Emmanuel Zako, Minister of Public Works. We can go down the line over and over and over again. Give him your best shot. Can you run away when he saw me? Because he knew I told you I was going to say this. Mr. Russell, that's not the reason. Not that they are not qualified, Mr. Russell. But you remember when we beat on George Manawia for this same thing? Is it segregation? You have marginalized the whole group. The other people there, they ain't got no smart people. And what President Boakai is doing now, if you're from another tribe and you're in position, if he fire you, he will replace you from Lofa or Nimba that play the person who come from. All road lead to Lofa or Nimba. I didn't say President Boakai to be that person. And don't police say that people didn't advise the president to do it. And nobody that President Boakai instead doing it. So guys, I know y'all will tear me up. I know y'all will get mad. But imagine looking at President Boakai, right? The man that's supposed to bring everybody together. The JMB that we know. Look at the people that supported JMB for all walks of life. Herman Pedro Costa, he from Lofa. Stanton Witherspoon, he from Lofa. People came all over because we had our mind set, our mind made up. That we would do this not for position, some of us. We would do this because only Joseph Boakai will unite the country. Will bring everybody together. If you got a ministry, labor ministry, Cooper Crowd have turned labor ministry to Nimba ministry. They call it ministry of Nimba. If you enter the ministry, everything you have, they don't even speak the English no more. They speak the dialect. Don't you think this is concerning? That we sit there and defend it? So, arrest. The president should have a change of plan. Not only Lofa people that vote, the Lofa people and the Nimba people, they are not the only two countries that voted for them. Jeremiah Kuhn and President Boakai should recalibrate. Not only Lofa and Nimba voted for them, Liberia voted for them. To go see President Boakai, you gotta speak Kisi. You gotta speak Loma. Then everybody begin to connect. but President Baka, you don't know Russell brother. Russell father was the man I was with you when you were at LPMC. You don't know Russell father, the man I was with you when you were at agriculture. Yeah, then I met that do the one. Guys, we saw President Baka, Ambassador Baka at the time, to be the unifier in chief. So I rest, Brother Russell. I rest, Brother George. This is troubling for our country. And I know somebody will say, you know what? That the two biggest counties. So what? So what? You take 70%, Gibson, from Lofa. You take another 15% from Nima. You got 6 counties that made up the population of Nima. What are you giving them? Let's agree that Nima is big, second to Mosferrado. You got 6 counties, 6, that made up the population in its equivalent, according to the NEC website record, from the southeastern region. Can we name 15, 20 people? Maybe, no, I'm too hard, Gibson. Can we name 10 minister proper and director proper from the southeastern region? 10 plenty, right? 10 plenty?
Let's say 5. Let's say 5.
5.
Yeah, 5 minister. Can anybody name 5 minister proper? Don't tell me about assistant. No. I said minister proper, director proper. Name me 5. I'll wait.
They ask Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, Mr. Opposition. Can you name me 5? And then we'll come to Tamba, then I will go. Can you name me 5 minister or director proper from 5, 10? You can put money to it.
No, I can't.
Who are those? Huh?
I can't.
Tamba, you want to try?
Tamba is the one.
Tamba, we're not hearing you, Tamba. Unmute yourself.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, CEO. Look, I understand where you're coming from, CEO, but here's one of the. I gave 5. Give me a chance now.
Yeah, name 5.
I gave 5.
Yeah.
So, Oswald Toy, where is he from?
Just use the name.
Name 5.
Okay. Minister of Justice, Southeast. Minister of Defense, Geraldine Janet George. That's 2. Minister of Public Works, Roland Lafayette Giddings. That's 3. Where you laughing?
Giddings.
Minister of Labor. Minister of Labor.
Giddings is from Bond County, brother.
That's 4.
Minister of Labor.
Minister of Labor, Cooper Cry from Nimba. You are saying everyone's from Lofa. You say you want 5 people.
Wait. So the Southeast are Nimba now.
So you know what?
I'll keep going. Let me keep going now.
No, Tamba. Yeah, here's the issue. We understand that you don't do the show on Saturday. So maybe you are not in the right frame of mind. We just said Nima and Lofa. You bring it up back to Nima and say Cooper Cry.
Well, Southeast is not.
I'm not saying Southeast.
It's very small.
Tamba, I am telling you, Nima gets 15. Tamba, listen now. Nima gets almost 15-20%, and you get 70 to 75% from Lofa. Don't name me anybody from those 2 counties, brother. But on this note, I give you back to show.
Minister of Health.
Minister of Health?
Yeah.
What's her last name?
Louis Mappy. I think she's from Bond County.
What's her last name?
No, she's from Great Boston.
Wait 1 minute. What's her last name, Colonel Gray?
She's married, but I know her to be Louis.
Oh, you say she's married.
Yeah, she's married.
She might, let me say this to you. No. Let me say this to you. Curtin Donkey's sister, Dr. Louis Poto. I related to her. She carried a husband named Poto. She's from Sano. She got a long, deep rooted from Sano. But the only reason why, and I know you will get vexed about, because Joseph Boakai heard the name Poto. That's why you hire her. If she had any other name, and I better go, you can call some.
That's not true, CEO. That's not true.
Yeah, no, that y'all all
he hired her based on her competence.
No. The only reason why that woman was hired to that position, Joseph Boakai heard the name Poto. If Joseph Boakai was going to hear the name Slewin, you're going to say no.
No, I disagree, CEO. I disagree. He hired her based on competence. He hired her based on competence.
My man, you ever said that arguing on your business? You
disagree tonight.
Let's get a show back to Mr. Russell.
Sister, 30 seconds.
No, but let Russell and Emmanuel take the show. You have a good
Thank you. Thank you. I think we have
the show. Can you run away? But Gibson, the only reason why President Boakai hired that woman who is my cousin, they say what the woman name, they say Louis. They say Louis, they say Louis Poto. They jump over the middle name. Because if they want to call him middle name, he wasn't going to hire the woman.
See, guys. Run away.
I think it was my turn to speak, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot.
I
think the CEO put some a little bit of spice into the conversation and took it out. I mean, we were headed along that way with the naming of all of those different ministries and entities by Gibson. I mean, he started it first, and now the CEO ended it. Connor Gray, let's hear you. You haven't spoken on this issue yet. What says you? I mean, looking at the totality of all of the different positions in the government, and we know we have an imperial presidency, but we are striving for a proportional, regional, geographic balance. How can we accomplish that? Because what we have now, clearly it has been laid out by Gibson and Stanton. They seem to be skewed. The appointments in government. What's your contribution to this topic?
Well, I hold similar view that there is disproportionate representation in the parastatals of government, especially at the ministerial level. There are lots of folks who seemingly come from one region of the country as opposed to the others. Emmanuel talked about the root of our conflict going back to the pre-1980. How one tribal group of individuals held power, and that oligarchy, of course, was dethroned by what appeared to have been a certain ethnic, representation of personalities. They themselves went and became very imbalanced. So, if you ask me, I would say it was between Nimba and Granjide, and the disproportionate representation that one group of between those two felt was what precipitated the Liberian Civil War. And when we went to conferences, I'm not sure whether any of you were ever present at any conference, the issue of this proportional representation with specificity to tribe was on the table. So they reduced it to regional balance or regional representation. We came back, the armed forces was the number one focus because they believed that was tribal disproportionate representation. Majority of the individual were deemed to be from a certain ethnic group. So the issue about restructuring the army was the recipe used to set the government in place. So everybody did not come from one region. They made sure that it was reflected in the accord, the Accra Peace Accord, that if somebody is a minister that comes from one region, his deputy must not come from that same region. It looked like we've gone back to that pre-millennial, pre-90, let's say that way. We've gone back to that where everybody just bring up their tribal people and they scuffle them in position. And I will not support the fact that the Barker administration is doing any good in our area. I think we have to do better. It's all I can say. We haven't kept ourselves away from what brought us to war. The tribal war. We fought a tribal war. It was a tribal war. And we must always remember that when we're sent to the mantle of leadership, that we must stay away from that which led us to war. And these kinds of approaches that the Barker administration is using could catapult us back to the reason we went to war. There cannot be disproportionate representation in any sector of government. We must balance it regionally. We will be very sensitive to that, very intentional to that, making sure that when we appoint Tamba deputy must not come from Lofa. If we go to the adjacent ministry, nobody must come from Tamba's region. We must circulate the entire region so that we can have sanity and tranquility within government or the society at large. But we're not approaching that way. I support that idea. But when it comes to Kev, he was talking about who prosecuted Mr. Cummings. It was the Weir administration. But he doesn't see it that way. You understand? Because anything that goes to the action of that administration, this guy will flip it to the other way. It wasn't Joe Barker that took Mr. Cummings to court. And I don't see President Barker to be the one that should be prosecuting people. If we have a stronger democracy and you're no longer in government, people can take individual lawsuit. If a minister, hit me in the past and is dismissed, I can take him to court for assault. He can be arrested. That's the kind of democracy we want to see, Wilfred, my brother.
Thank you. But, I know Dr. George has spoken about this, about what I'm about to say. So after a year, we're going to come to you, Gibson, and then we will go to Kev, and they go around Tamba, and then to Dr. George. We'll close us out on this. But prior to the civil conflict, or prior to the military rule in the country, so I think pre-1980, in both Conor Gray and Dr. George have spoken about this. I think, and that's part of why Dr. George, should I say Dr. Gray? Dr. George doesn't like this whole tribal nomenclature, right? Because the Americo-Liberian / Congo group, the oligarchy that was there, it was mixed. So it was merely an ethnic group or class group as opposed to tribal, right? Dr. George, you're an expert on on this. So there were people, Americo-Liberians from Lofa, from all over the country, from Sino, Grand Bassa, from Montserrat, but they were from this one ethnic group or one class group, right? But now what we have is slightly different, and there is a difference between cultural group or ethnic group and tribal group, right, Dr. George? I mean, there's a difference between that. So just want to make that clear that what we had then was not a tribal group; it was more of an ethnic group, an ethnic makeup of different cultural persuasion from folks from all over the country. But Gibson, let's hear you. Let's try to close out on this. We will go to Kev. From you, we'll go to Tamba and Tamba, Kev, and then Dr. George will close out on all of this. You and Stanton have come up with some tangible information that we can wrap our hands around, that this looks bad, this looks ugly, no matter how we try to twist it, Tamba, no matter how we try to spin it, it doesn't look good. It's not geographic representation. It is not proportional representation. It is flat out one-sided. Gibson,
thank you.
Let's hear you.
First of all, Conor Gray, without arguing on behalf of the Samuel Doe government, I like to dispel the notion that we have more crown ministers in Doe government than any other tribe. That's not true. The Nima has more ministers in Doe government than any tribe in Liberia. I can just off the top of my head, Mato Sandolo, Blozo Scott, to all the people. I can sit here and name about 5 of them from Nima. The crown ministers were only 2. The Congo ministers were 3 or 4. So no, it's not true, my brother. Even though Samuel Doe did a lot of things that we cannot defend, but at the same time, we should keep history straight. But let me come back to the present day. The two group of people that accused George Weah of nepotism, more employment from the Southeast, were Prince Johnson and the Unity Party people. During George Weah government, and again, I don't have the list. It would just be off my head. In Nima, George Weah appointed Prince C. Johnson as chief of staff of the armed forces. He appointed Moses Duopu, deputy minister of administration. He appointed George Abu Gontor, deputy minister of energy. He appointed Lance Bar Gonyo. He appointed Mike Doyen. He appointed Harrison Conway. He appointed Richard McConnell Timber. He appointed Zotawon Titus. He appointed Wilfred Bangura. He appointed Melvin Yelu. He appointed, let me see, who else I remember? Councillor Kopokra, who was Minister of Post and Telecommunication. He also appointed Mark Gonledwo as Deputy Minister. He also appointed Memuna Ga. He also appointed Deputy Kou, Minister Kou. But let me look at Lofa. From Lofa alone, just from Lofa alone, off the top of my head, because I don't have the list before me. I know about D. Maswe Kimiyan. He's a minister from Lofa County. I know about Nora Findabono. He's from Lofa County. I know about Percy Kwiku Yeke. I know about Waluba Colley. I know about Alexander, what the guy last name? Gaku. Alexander Gaku. I know about Henry Famble. I know about Wilhelmina Jala. I know about Jefferson Tamakoya. I know about Jesse Cowboy. Just from the top of my head. Just from the top of my head. You see how many people are named from Lofa and Nima during George Weah administration? I can sit there and name about 17 people from the Southeast. That's about 5 counties in the Southeast. And you people were beating George Weah for nepotism. But in Joseph Boakai government, the one that Stanton named were not the same one I named. So we are almost in 35 or 37 people just appointed in government from Lofa alone. 90% of the people are kissing people. So, you know, when people talk these things, other people think there's tribalism. Why is it that Grand Jeddah will only have one person who is appointed as yeah, I'm serious, Tamba. I must speak for my people. And other people don't care about speaking for the people. I will speak for my people. Why is it that all of the positions, 19 cabinet minister positions and 22 government parastatals and autonomous agency, and you only appointed 1 deputy commissioner for maritime affairs from Grand Jeddah?
But
why?
But Gibson, why are you asking that question? You voted 99.1%. No.
Boakai received the highest number of votes from anybody besides Joshua in Grand Jeddah County, more than 4,000 votes. Eddie Johnson received 900 votes. And Eddie Johnson had people in government, like the deputy minister of labor was from Grand Jeddah. Later on, she promoted him to minister. So there were other people that were in government that we know from Ellen Johnson government that we didn't cry too much. But Joseph Boakai came and took everybody away because he heard in Joseph Boakai Grand Jeddah for Nima County from George Weah, and now we're putting nobody from Grand Jeddah. And the only reason why he appointed George Solo is because George Solo went against George Weah, so he wanted to rub in George Weah's face. He appointed him as ambassador. George Solo is capable of being a cabinet minister. Listen, this is bad. I don't care who can defend this. And I don't care, my name is trending in the comment line. I'm the most popular man in the comment line today. Everybody say I'm tribalistic. When Stanton talks, Stanton not tribalistic. When all of you talk about the appointment of tribes from different places, they are not tribalistic. But when Gibson Jerry talk, Gibson Jerry tribalistic. I don't have time for these people. These are people who don't think for themselves. People got to think for them. But I can tell you, my brother, it's a bad omen. It's very, very bad. Why every time you got to put Kissy man there? We're not against Kissy people. Some of them had Kissy girlfriend before, and they are very beautiful people, to be honest. Kissy people now take care of people. That time I have it.
All right. Thank you, Gibson. Gibson, thank you. I think you made a powerful point. I think we all can understand and appreciate the point that you've made. Tamba, let's hear you. Everybody is pretty much on the same page with this. I mean, we have the numbers. We can see the list. I mean, it's a disproportionate number of people who come from Lofa. I mean, it's pretty clear. What do you have to say, sir?
Thank you, Winfrey. First of all, I don't speak for the Unity Party. I'm no member of the Unity Party, and I don't represent this government. I don't even have a chicken catcher position in this government. And let me just put that on the floor. When I come here, I come to talk about Liberia. And I still believe that Liberia, with 16 tribes, that we always have to ensure integrity and integration, of our tribes and our professionals across government. That's what I do, Winfrey. You can look me up. You can search me. I have been in this business for the last 20 years, and I have led strategies on equality and equity and diversity in hiring practices, and that's what I do. I disagree with you, Winfrey, and I disagree with you, Jeru, and the CEO, Stanton. For you guys to say this is a Kissy government, that's a blatant lie, and I would disagree with that. Look, you may have.
No, I did not say it was a Kissy government. So that's
when you guys are saying that, that's what you are insinuating, and we should stop that. That's not true.
We're saying that. No, we're saying there is a disproportionate. Okay, let me say, just give a second. What I'm saying, and I think what most everyone is saying, but I speak for what I just said, that there's a disproportionate representation of people from Lofa County. Now, what their tribal leaning is, whether they're Mandingo, whether they're Pele, whether they're Kissy, Bandi, that's a whole separate conversation. Okay. But on the face of it, based on what Gibson presented and what the CEO presented, and I also have a list of someone from the group chat who also presented, there is a disproportionate number of people from Lofa County on,
Winfrey, I disagree. I disagree with that assertion, and I disagree with you guys tonight. And let's agree to disagree. If you look, we can look at the ministerial position. If you look at people from the Southeast, they are represented in the government. If we look at the populations of Liberia by county, Maserati has the biggest, right? Maserati, we are all represented there. All the tribes of Liberia are represented in Maserati County, and we know that. So I won't worry about Maserati. But Bon County comes in 461,000 people. Nima County come with 468,000 people. Grand Bassa, 300,000 people. Lofa County, 360,000 people. Maryland, 172. Bombi, 133,000. Bopolu, less than 100,000. If you go to the Southeast, the populations there are even smaller. So if we look at the proportional representation, and I know Jeru is advocating for his people, and that's why everybody calling you tribalist in the comments, Jeru. And I respect you, my brother. But it's not about just your county. Let's look at Liberia holistically. Look at the proportional representation. Look at the tribes. Nimba County and Lofa County hold 11 of the 16 tribes of Liberia. That's 68%. 68% of the tribes. So if we were to say, let's do proportional representation, it makes sense that Lofa County and Nima County dominate the government of Liberia. Now, is that what I want? No, we should ensure that there's some representation from all counties, and we should have. But to say today that the government of JMB or the CDC Unity Party government is a Kisi-led government, is predominated by Kisi people or Lofians, I disagree with that. This is not the CDC government. If you go back 6 years ago, where the top 4 or 5 positions in government during the CDC rule were held by people from the Southeast, from the president to the justice to the how they call it, pro tem, and the speaker, they were also Easterners.
Okay,
that's not what we have today. We have a balance. We have a speaker from another region. We have a pro tem from another region. You know, we have a president from Lofa County, and then the ministries, we have representation. If you look at the composition of our counties and our tribes. So let's stop the shenanigans, gentlemen. Let's not think that this is just a Kisi government. And by the way, this president hire people based on competence. So if those people happen to be from Lofa County and happen to be Kisian or Kisia, and they are competent, the president should appoint them.
Can I ask you a question?
Can I people from your county, Jero, if they are granted?
Quick question.
Yes,
okay.
Can you compare the Southeast? Is the Southeast an equal of Lofa County?
No, Lofa County can swallow 3 or 4 counties from the Southeast. You know that. Am I lying?
Okay. Thank you. I mean, but Tamba, that's the reason why. That's the reason why I think the general sentiment here is that we should have either geographic representation or geographic balance. The Lofa County is the northwest corner of the country. So the southeast has a number of counties within the southeast. It is not just one county. It's not just Grand Crew County or Sino County. There are multiple counties in there. But in this case, what we're seeing is a number of those positions, a good chunk of the senior level positions in government come from one county, not region, a county. So the George Weah appointment, the allegation was, or the accusations were, that it came from the southeast, which is regional.
Which was true against George Weah. Which was true.
But we criticized. So we criticized that, and so we are criticizing this, where the focus seemed to be on one county. But Colonel Gray, let's bring you in. Let's hear you, and then we'll go to Kev, and then from Kev to Dr. George, and he's going to close out on this segment. We have a few minutes to go, about 15 or so minutes to go. Let's go.
Yes, sir, Mr. Russell. You see, there is something called some subconscious bias. There is something called whiteness, for instance. In our subconscious, we don't even see this as a problem. You go in the mind of Mr. Aguilas, who just spoke, and you go to our brother Jero. It's all about the infusion of his tribal representation. This guy is trying to say, well, we come from a region, so therefore this is not a Kisi government. These are all statements of subconscious biases. The fact is, you could still talk for proportional representation void of your own tribe. But Mr. Jero doesn't see it that way. I'm talking for my people, meaning it's Crown ethnic people. We're not saying that they should not be represented in government. But if he wants to go back to the nemesis of the 1990 civil crisis that started in 1989, it was because of disproportionate representation in government, particularly in security instruments. It's coming our way today. Everywhere you look around, it's either a Nimba man as head of a security entity. That's how it was. in before the war. Because of that disproportionate representation, people felt marginalized. But when you go back to the like of Gibson Jerry, it doesn't see it that way. He felt that the government was balanced. That's the subconscious bias that President Bokar is visioning this kinds of attitude, from, because in his own lenses, somebody is saying it, the government is fully represented from all angles of society. Others are saying no. And if you ask me, I'll say no, there is this disproportionate representation in government today, just like it was before the war. Because we're from a specific, we're a specific beneficiary, we don't see it that way. And I can tell you, I think the president needs to do better. Look, it is becoming more a competition between people from Lofa, even Lofians. Loma people were crying that they're not in government, because it's either that Bandi belt, which also incorporates the Kisi. But when it comes to the other side, they feel they're not represented. Just look in government, how many Loma men you can point finger to? They cry. As for my Cape people, I don't even know what to say. But go back to Buffalo and other areas. So there's disproportionate representation. We have to do better. And whether or not you don't see it that way, but the larger society sees it that way. And I think it is, if you ask me. And if we don't do better, where every security man appointed is from Nimba, that how it was. Every security man you count today, especially strategic position for Nimba, why are they doing that? And that's one of the reasons why we went to war, my brother. Go back and look at the Akasumu Accord. I mean the Accra Accord. That issue of disproportionate representation, particularly in security, was highlighted, and we came back and restructured an army. We should have restructured, but we rebuilt an army because it was so disproportional that there's no way you could have restructured without retaining the bulk of the people. So they just dismantled it and rebuilt it. But we're going back to that level where one tribe is dominating or over the other.
And we shouldn't, and we shouldn't. It's a recipe for disaster.
Exactly.
And I think, and so we all speaking out loudly. It doesn't mean that folks are not competent. We can find competent people across the length and breadth of Liberia. You can find competent people from Maryland County, from Grand Jita, from Bomi County, from all over. It should not be just from one area or two counties in this case. Let's hear you, Kev. We need to close out here. We have very few minutes left to the end of this show. After you, we're going to go to Dr. George.
I don't know if some kind of I'm trying to figure out my words so I don't say something that will cause trouble. But and that kind of thought. Let's go to the circle around President Weah as we speak right now. Percy Yeke, Lofa. Fidabundo, Lofa. Maxwell Kimia, Lofa. Jefferson Koji, Lofa. That his circle right now. That his circle before, Lofa. These are Lofian, born Lofian. Look at President Bokar and his circle. And look at President Weah's circle. The chairman, the former chairman of CDC, Molu, Lofa. The current chairman, Lofa. Then let's talk about folks that President Weah took from the grassroots, from refugee camp, from plank seller, Sir Joseph Tomofala, Kisi, Lofa. Show me anybody that Joseph Iman Boakai from the Southeast took from the grassroots? Nobody. But President, we have this history is there. So let me ask you, anybody can deny on this platform that Thomas Fala is not President we have made him? Anybody can deny that? Sir Joseph, anybody can deny that? He took Sir Joseph from the refugee camp in Sierra Leone. Just like Kisi, even though at this moment they turned their back away from President Weah. But Darius DeLong is on tape. That's President Weah made man. And he called those guys. What we're saying with Joseph Iman Boakai, he's trying to put the country against each other. He tried to, what he doing is, I don't know if there's a word, Lofianize the country. I don't know if it's a word. Jerome, maybe you can help me. I don't know if it's a word. But if you're from Lofa, you cause no harm. You can do anything. We know that his relationship with Amin Moda, a family relationship with Amin Moda's mother from Lofa, that Amin Moda can take and cause harm, corruption, and let him go free. We know that. If you are Lofian and you are a Gisi, and one thing he doing again, even within Lofa, right? There's a segregation there again. If you are Loma, there's a problem there. Steve Zago, it's a Loma man. Even within, so this president is so dangerous that you have to have that Gisi background, and you have to come from the Gisi from the Sierra Leone background, because that's what he relates to. That's how dangerous he is. And that's why he building a $10 million home in Foya. And as we speak, that's why he fixing road from that area to Sierra Leone. You check it, it's there. That's how dangerous this president is. But I will say this, and this is not a joke. I'm not playing politics with it. Winfrey and you guys, people will not understand the effect of Joseph Iman Boakai, the way he damaging this country in every angle. The entire 3 branches of government, he damaging the entire 3 branches of government. You know, president could be a good thing, and president could be a bad thing. The president this president is setting, the bad thing he's setting, the next government, and our government will be the next government. There's a lot of work we're going to do to fix this thing, to bring confidence back and bring the country back to a place that where we were going, because he take us back. He destroyed every angle of the government, tribalizing the government, doing everything. And I'm telling you, if you say anything right now, Winfred Russell, and you're friendly with anybody in the government and you push, trust me, that person will try to avoid you, because they don't want that. They don't want to be, they don't want to see you with them, because the president going to turn their back on it. 10 seconds, Wilfred, 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. I am not supporting Charles Brown. He said a lot of crazy things about the government. But I watched him. I saw his anger on Cooper Cry. I saw his anger on and other things. If you go against what this president, his interest, and who he see as his interest, you are done. Take you from there. And how can you replace with a Lofian? How can you replace this man with a Lofian? Because Darius DeLong, they're so cool Darius DeLong down to sweeten the pie.
All right. Thank you, Kev. Thanks a lot. But let me, for our listeners and audience, out there, viewers and listeners out there, let me just clarify that Amin Modad, the former Minister of Commerce, was not indicted, was not charged with corruption. He resigned. Okay, based on his own
the crime is still there. The crime is still there. That even make it worse. Because he should have been indicted him. That even make it worse.
Let us be clear now. Let us be clear. We have to put out factual information.
So why he resigned?
Well, he resigned based on his own volition. Right?
Based on the allegation and the crime to him.
He was not charged with any crime. He was not indicted.
You make my case.
But Dr. George, Kev, we've done that already.
They refused to charge him because of his mother.
Thanks. Kev, let him land. Let me make a point.
What point? I can do my closing and what?
Yes, Dr. George, let's hear you, Doctor.
Oh, I wanted Dr. George to go after me, but anyway, go ahead.
No, you have closed. We're closing the show now, brother.
I know that we're closing the show now, brother.
Yeah, but I'm close here.
No, everyone that closed, if you close,
and I want 1 minute you there, but to close. You started with Remy Gray. You went to Tama.
Oh, I didn't know it was closure.
Okay, Jerry, you have 1 minute. Go. We have.
Yeah, let me just
1 minute because you're not closing.
But if you give Jerry 1 minute, you gotta give all.
Yeah, so Dr. George,
it's 5 minutes to 7.
No problem.
So
no problem.
We'll not speak on this closing round.
Yeah, right? I'll be very fast. Brother Russell, the president asked Abi Manda and the LTLRA commissioners, both of them were involved in a luxury car deal, and the president asked the commerce minister to resign because of that, and the commerce minister resigned. The fact that the president recognized wrongdoing and asked his minister to resign, I thought you were going to turn it over to the Justice Ministry for investigation. That wasn't done. So I just want to set that record straight on that.
Well, the point I was making was that he was not formally charged, and he was
not formally charged, but there was an allegation from the president of the Republic of Liberia alleging that he did wrong thing. There was a wrongdoing about the purchase or the receiving of a vehicle. So the president asked him to resign. If the president had no probable cause, he would not have asked him to resign. I think that's where Kev was going. If Kev missed,
I'm not here to read Kev's mind, but thanks for the clarification, Dr. George.
Okay, so on my 30 seconds, again, Tama, you are wrong again. Lofa County does not encapsulate the entire Southeast. It does not. The Southeast, all of the counties in the Southeast, for example, Grand Jeddah County had a population of 216,692. Maryland has 172,202. River G had 124,653. Sando has 151,149. River Says has 95,000. Grand Crew has 109,342. The total is 869,036. Now, Lofa County total population is 367,376. So can Lofa County encapsulate the Southeast? The whole region with 869,000? It's not possible. So your characterization of the Southeast is benign. And this is just another genius attempt by a genius Kisi man to just berate the Southeast, and that's not true. Okay, I just wanted to say in this closing that we have a problem, and the reason why I keep saying Grand Jeddah, I cannot speak for all the counties. So, some counties may be okay with that. Maybe River Says that does not have any cabinet minister. Maybe River Says okay with that if they're not speaking about it. Maybe Grand Crew that has no cabinet minister, they are okay with that. So as an individual, Josh, you live in America. Russell, you live in America. The guy, you ever see the Mexican speaking for Puerto Rican? No, Mexicans speak for Mexican. Puerto Rican speak for Puerto Rican. So that's our people. Our people need to understand that people speak for their people, not because they are tribalistic, but you stand up for your people so they can get equity treatment. That's what happened in America. You don't see the Mexican people speaking for white American. The black people speak for black people here. They don't speak for Mexican. So you can say they are tribalistic? No, that is the refined community. The refined community, people speak for their people for equity. In fact, during election time, they make sure to go to their base and tell their base to vote for certain candidate because they wanted that candidate to win. Like Barack Obama, he went to black people and said, vote for black candidate. So was Barack Obama tribalistic? No.
Yeah, taking almost 3 minutes now.
Yeah, let's have a minute now.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. In 10 seconds, it's a good show. But I just want to tell our people that when I speak for Grand Jide, it doesn't mean I'm tribalistic. I speak for Grand Jide because I am the voice of Grand Jide on this show. If I can't speak for Grand Jide, then I should get the hell out of this show and go and sleep. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Gibson, Jeru, thanks for your contribution. Thanks for your participation as always. A very insightful comments. Dr. George, let's hear you. You can wrap everything up, your closing and all of that. And Tamba will give you a minute, and then Conor Gray will give you a minute to wrap things up.
Well, good evening. And Nelson, if you're around, we are closing up now. I know it's 7 o'clock. It's time for you to leave. Good evening to our viewers and listeners. Thank you for joining us over 3 hours. You have been a part of this conversation. Look, in 1978, Professor Amadou Cissé, in his PhD thesis at the London School of Economics, developed an organigram of the Tolbert administration and how the Tolberts were leading all the major institutions in Liberia at that time. In the 1980s, when the Civil War started, Professor Amadou Cissé wrote a book, One Size Does Not Fit All, in order to argue and re-energize the point of a particular group of people leading a country. That's the reason we had the 1980 coup, and that's the reason why we have heroes like Bacchus Matthew, Albert Polt, Samuel Jackson at that time, and others who fought for multi-party democracy. In 1985, we had the opportunity to make it right. But unfortunately, that election was hijacked. And then we had the situation of the Civil War. And since 2025, we're trying to make this country right. We cannot continue to do the same thing all the time and expect different results. We have to go forward. The issue of us having cabinet ministers that represent one geographical location of this country must stop. There are clever Liberians in all sectors, smart Liberians from all 15 counties. It is the duty of Mr. President and those who work along with him to identify these Liberians and bring them into cabinet ministry to support the agenda of whatsoever president is in charge. We have to move this country forward. We cannot do it alone. We can do it together as the people of the Republic of Liberia. When we come to the issue of Mr. Charles Brown, he may shout as much as he wants to shout, but once he decided on that particular day to lift his hands and put it on the hand of a foreign national, especially someone from China or the United States of America, you are causing diplomatic challenge to a government that hardly depends on financial support from the United States of America and China. And I'm sure you don't expect to keep your job the very next day. So he put himself in a situation. But once we are brave enough and strong enough to get to a Charles Brown, let us think about those who brought our president to a room with international journalists, international ambassadors, and other officials of government and lied to the president in his face, made the entire room to stand and cheer the president up. 1 week later, they had to clean it out. That is a national disgrace. So yes, I agree with the firing of Charles Brown, but those who bring our nationality, our patriotism to repute should also be looked at also. So thank you for being on this show tonight. And as you go to sleep, remember, we need to move this country forward. And let's think about Liberians who actually can face the economy we have, who can support us in moving this country forward. And one great Liberian is Exana Benedict Cummings. Have a wonderful night. I look forward to be part of this conversation tomorrow.
Dr. Emmanuel George. Thank you, sir. Thanks. We'll now go to Colonel Remy Gray, we'll give you 1 minute to do your closing, and then we will come to you, Mr. Aguilas. Thanks.
Thank you, gentlemen. If you ask me to contextualize this show today, it is about proportional representation. Well, imagine if you come to a set and a debate like this, and you are saying that you represent a particular group of people. Imagine if you make Gibson Jeru President of the Republic of Liberia. He'll be there primarily to represent the Crown people. Isn't that the discussion we're having tonight against Joseph Boakai? Tell me I'm wrong. The fact about the matter is
you are wrong. You are wrong.
No, the fact about the matter, you can talk about this a proportional representation without specificity to your tribe. Imagine me coming up here.
Without bothering you, I'm sorry.
Gibson,
go to my radio station and see my management team.
Gibson,
then you will
let
know
us
what I'm
respect.
The mind is a very dangerous instrument in the human body, because the way we think is the way we act. I'm just telling you, in a small opportunity extended to you, you feel that you are here primarily to represent the Crown people. Imagine me saying I'm here to represent the Cape Mount people or the people of Montserrado. We are not addressing the issue at all if I were to make that statement, because it's a mindset. Now, also, we cannot be here talking about party representation. It's as dangerous as tribal disproportional representation. The last government was particular about party representation. I want to believe that this government, in as much as they have a limping way of doing things, it's not 100% party oriented compared to the last one. So you can name 5 people, the Pepsi Eke and others from Lofa, but you also are not distancing them from having affiliation to a particular political party. The euphemism that was cleverly used was that you must come from a particular specific political party in order to be represented in government. That is as equally dangerous as someone who is making a case for a tribe. So, folks, the thing about it is we must get away from this, this kinds of way of thinking that unless you belong to a tribe, you cannot be represented in government. Unless you come from a specific political party, you can be represented in government. If we want to address this issue, we must address it holistically and don't find excuses why one or the other is better. My brothers on this set, I want to say Liberia can still make us strive. We're only 6 million now, maybe 5 point something. Everybody can be represented, irrespective of us thinking that our tribe should dominate in the public sector. If we don't move away, we'll not enjoy our country. Foreigners will come there and take it, and then we'll just sit there and watch, because I will not be appointed because I'm from Cape Mount or Montserrado. But a Ghanaian will come, they will not include it in the amalgamation and appointing, because it's not come from Lofa, it's not come from Nimba, it's not come from Cape Mount. Mr. Russell, thank you, brother.
Thank you. The retired Colonel Edmund Remy Gray. Thanks for your contribution and your participation tonight, being part of this very healthy conversation. Mr. Tamba Aguilas, let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you, Winfred. Look, when we come here every day, every night, it is because we love Liberia. And I understand, Gibson, Jeru, look, you are a tribalist. You have shown that clearly on the show tonight. And Dr. Emmanuel George, you are a partisan. You are promoting your party, and I respect that. I don't come here to support party. I don't come here to support tribe. I come here to advocate for Liberia and what is best for Liberia.
You don't respect my own.
I respect yours too. I respect your tribalism. But look, Liberia is a secular society, and we must coexist. That's probably where we come from. On the topics tonight, I think the fellow Charles Brown exhibited incompetence and insubordination and disrespect to the very office he held. And this is why he was fired. And I think he should be investigated. And what I'm going to say to all incompetent and corrupt officials in GMB government, they should have no place for reappointment. They should have no place. Look, GMB is setting the standard. You may say I'm Tamba because I'm from Lofa County, so I'm going to support GMB. It's not for that. But I have seen positive decisions and action of this government, and this is why I support GMB in some of the things he's trying to do. He's prosecuted, indicted more officials in his less than 2 years than I have seen in the last 6 years that the CDC was in power. And that's positive. Is it all rosy? Are we where we want to be? No, there are challenges, and we want this government to do better. Liberia must continue to work towards integration. Forget about, look, Gibson, as a Liberian, when I'm out, when I leave Liberia, they don't ask me what tribe you are. They say, where you from? They don't ask me what tribe. They only brand me as a Liberian. And many of you who travel, you know that. And that's why I always say we should always support Liberia first. Secondly, we should begin to think about competence. I have worked in the international development sector for the last 20 years. We don't recruit people, we don't hire you and put you in position because of your tribe. I know there's always, connection, people do references to refer someone for jobs. But we should look at the competence, the overall competence. If the person qualified, do they have the relevant experience and education? Do they have integrity? Can they do this job? Those are the questions we should be asking ourselves. We shouldn't be asking what tribe they are from, what country they are from. And I understand elections have consequences. Because when you win an election as president, you come with this coalition, everybody wants a piece of the pie. And that's what's happening in Liberia. But we should get to a point, I want a Liberia where we treat competence, Dr. George, competence ahead of tribe, competence ahead of regional, origin, competence ahead of partisan. And that's what we should be yearning for. That's what we should be thinking about. That's what we should be aspiring to as Liberians. Look, gentlemen, it's been a good show, man. It's always a pleasure to come here. Look, we are in this for Liberia, and it should always be about Liberia first. Thank you, Winfred.
Thank you, Mr. Tamba Ageles. We appreciate your contribution, and thanks to everyone. If one of the producers are out there, can you in the studio? Can you please step forward so we can end this? I thought it was a beautiful show, and thanks, Dr. George. Thanks to you for co-moderating this part of the show with me. I think it was beautiful. It's a beautiful experiment. Even though we some of our folks who were a little tardy to the party didn't particularly didn't particularly like the.
Russell, I'm told you are from River. Russell, I'm told you are from River G.
No, I'm from Liberia. I'm not from River G. I lived in River G though. I lived in Cowacan. I lived in Fishtown, but I'm not.
So which country in Liberia you come from?
No. But man, let me do my closing now. You done your own closing.
Well, this is serious. It's serious. We can't have foreigners debating our Liberian.
Man, let them close, man. So we can go.
So I mean, I agree with you, Mr. Ageles. We have to strive for competence. And it should not be based on tribe. And I think that's the conversation that we held here today. And I think that's the point that we're trying to drive across, that it should be based on competence. And we can find competent people, not only in Lofa, but also in Bomi. We can find competent people in Kitma. We have one sitting right on the show here with us, who is highly competent, a decorated former colonel of the military. So we can find competence all over. Bomi, we have someone on the show, our colleague here, Dr. George. He's from Bomi. He's highly competent. So competence doesn't just have to be in one region or one county, and that's part of what we're saying. Yeah, you know, so we have to be serious and, you know, careful about that. Now, I have a list that was put together by someone from you know, watching the show and sent it. So I didn't develop it, but you know, they gave 32 positions. Chief Justice, so you can do the accounting. Chief Justice is from Nimba. Speaker from Sino. Deputy Speaker from Lofa. Pro temp from Bassa, Grand Bassa County. The Foreign Minister from Montserrat County. Finance Minister from Lofa. Commerce Minister from Grand Bassa. Transportation from Bumi. Internal Affairs from Lofa. The Minister of Health from River Cess, married to someone from Lofa. Public Works from Bong County. The Minister of Information is apparently from Grand Bassa County. Lands and Mines, Nimba. The Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, you know, I believe they're saying from Bong. Education from Lofa. Labor from Nimba. NSA from Nimba. Defense from Montserrat. Justice from Sino. Agriculture from Bong. Youth and Sports from Lofa. Maritime from Grand Jide. Civil Service from Bong. LBS from Bumi County. That's the Liberia Broadcasting System. Police, the police director is from Bassa, they were saying. LRA from Lofa. The mayor of Monrovia is from Lofa. The head of the NPA is from Bumi, and then to put in parentheses, Madingo. LEC, Madingo. Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, Kitmau. The Ministry of Post and Telecommunication or Postal Affairs didn't put any counted, say he's from Madingo. State without portfolio, Madingo. So I cannot verify or confirm all of the folks on this list, but it was something that I pulled from some of the listeners and to put that together. So as you can see, if you do the math, you will see that it is disproportionate people who are from Nimba and from Lofa primarily. So and like I said earlier, my maternal grandfather, Mr. Gibson, is from Tapeta, or grew up in Tapeta, and I grew up in Ganta, right? But I was born in Montserrat, and I also spent some of my formative years in Flela, Bong County. So what does that make me? That makes me a Liberian. So beautiful show, beautiful time, a great insight. I think we had a wonderful time. I hope we can do this again. So thanks for all your contribution.
Can we close the go off air wide? I don't know where Nelson is.
Okay, Nelson, if you're there listening and watching us, please come to the show so we can end this. I don't know if we can just randomly just leave like that.
Yeah. Talk to what's his name, Darius Doe, or maybe
I think Darius was in studio. I think Darius was in studio earlier.
Yeah,
Darius, Nelson, he told me Nelson is there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's there. Nelson. The way Nelson, if you're there, you're listening to us. Let me see if I can call him. Yeah. But in the meantime,
so Conor Gray, you work in government for a while. Let us just have a conversation. Now, is the Inspector General, whether for commerce or for ministry, are they government appointees?
Yeah, it should be presidential appointee.
An Inspector General,
but with the advice and consent of the whoever the minister is.
I mean, Dr. George, the presidency we have in Liberia is an imperial presidency, as you know. I mean, it is mind-boggling to me that the president appoints
with the advice and consent of the minister.
Okay, a few years ago, when I discovered, I think during the Ellen Johnson government transition, when I discovered that the highest person in the government, in the ministry during transition was the director for human resources, I was shocked. You know,
yes.
And so I don't know why we don't have a career minister of a ministry that can be a part of the transition, but we always have to remove all the ministers and then
Actually, so it was before the coup. Assistant ministerial positions, director in certain capacity, and they were not they were not presidential appointees. This was civil servant, career civil servants, that were elevated to those positions because they are the brain and mind of the ministry. They're there to transfer knowledge to incoming individuals who are brand new. But today, everybody has to be appointed by the president, which makes it very, very counterproductive because you're not elevating the institutional knowledge of any of those administrative.
I've got to struggle with how a director of human resources will be able to prepare a minister to take over a ministry. I mean, I best think we should have the deputy minister for administration should not be a political appointee. That should be a career civil servant that will be able to lead a new minister coming. But if you have all the top officer after an election being political appointee,
things are so
with it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Russell, may I just make a point, right?
Sure. Go ahead.
Look, I worked in the private sector for what, 20 years. We value institutional knowledge, right? Like Colonel Grace said, we value institutional knowledge. So when you're looking at an organization, what we have, we create what we have career pathing. So say, for example, a company I work for have associates, senior associates, managers, associate directors, and then the C-suite, right? And that's your career path. So within 10 years, if you work within that ministry or within that agency, you can rise to deputy minister, assistant minister. And that's why we need to rethink government. And I always like to think of rethink, right, Emmanuel? Because look, we can be, and I like the quote, and I always attribute that quote to Einstein.
Alexander,
you see, you can keep doing the same thing and expect different results. But election have consequences. People come in coalition, they win, and all of a sudden, you have to put the people in.
Give me a second.
Please mute.
I think we should rethink about having a line minister who is a career civil servant to take over. Because I don't know how when the ministers come in, who lead them to the and the director
orientation. There's no orientation
at that level. Lead these new ministers coming into this post, because whether they're new or they're old, but they are coming into somewhere where they have to be orientated. And I don't see how a director of human resources can do that.
There is no onboarding process. I mean, what is mind-boggling to me, the fact that even at the city mayor level, that the president appoints, I mean, everybody, I mean, paramount chief, I mean, notary public. We have to change that. I mean, that's why
that was from 1979. When Emma Sawyer, 1979-80, when Emma Sawyer was running to be mayor, that popular election that was taking place. Since that time, they have refused to elect mayors in Liberia.
No, but the law in Liberia, though, that superintendent should be elected based on our constitution.
Yeah, but
right now they are appointed because again. Budgetary allocation, constraints, and all of that, right? But look, man.
Okay, gentlemen, Nelson, so
we have
Nelson in the studio, so that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Nelson, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, and thanks for hanging in there with us. And folks, we'd like to say thanks to all of you who spent some time with us this evening discussing a very, very serious issue in our country. So we hope you can join us again next week. So I'd like to say thanks again to all my fellow panelists, Mr. Tamba Aguilas, Colonel Edmund Reming Gray. I know the others have left, Gibson Giroux and Kef Hassan, and to the CEO who had to step out. So on behalf of my co-moderator, Dr. Emmanuel George, my name is Winfred Russell. I'd like to say thanks for watching us today and hanging with us this evening. We turn it over to you, Darius. Actually, it's not Darius. Nelson in the studio. Thank you, Nelson.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Mr. Russell. And I want to say thanks to Dr. Josh, Colonel Gray, and the entire team here tonight. We look forward to being here on Monday with another edition of Spoon Talk. Tomorrow will be one-on-one with CEO. It's going to be a great show. You can make up time to join us tomorrow. Until then, I want to say thanks to all of you joining us here tonight. Shea Brown, thank you for being here. Lucini Kamara, we appreciate you. There's Kiko Kaba, thank you for being on tonight. We appreciate you. Hanan Kramer, we appreciate you as well. Yes, and thanks thanks a lot. Thanks for the congratulatory message, and thanks to everyone for being here. We look forward to a great show tomorrow, one-on-one with the CEO. You can make up time to join us. Until then, I'm Nelson Collier. Have a good night. Thanks to our partner radio stations who relayed the program, and I want to say thanks to our online audience, and we look forward to another show tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
Yeah, yeah. Don't just spoon. You wanna get a nose of it? Don't just spoon. Rastafari. Kili bamba, kili bamba, kili bamba, kili bamba, kili bamba, kili bamba. What I want? Yes,